A timely response. That matters. Owning your own home. That matters. Supporting our community. That matters. When your child smiles, that matters. Good encounters, great experiences. It matters at Cayman National.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.
This is the only morning show that matters. Cayman Crosstalk. Cayman Crosstalk.
Road at night and find nobody bothers you. Looking crabs with a little flashlight. That's Cayman. Nobody in town after 9 at night. That's Cayman. People in the airport know you by name. That's Cayman. At Rum Point before the Hyatt came. That's Cayman. A nation is a people living out the lives they choose, celebrating when they win, crying when they lose. Those who say Cayman is not a nation legally, it's very clear to me they missed the point entirely. Smelling jerk pork as you're driving by, that's Cayman. Christmas beef, button tonguefish fry, that's Cayman. Your car break down, you get a lift to town, that's Cayman. Sunday cricket, agriculture ground, that's Cayman. A downtown beach where children swim, that's Cayman. Mr. Jim, remember him, that's Cayman. Spots landing and Christmas breeze, that's Cayman. Miss Coney, macaroni and cheese, that's Cayman.
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Here are your latest news headlines from the Cayman 27 News Team on Rooster 101's Cayman Crosstalk. Now, here's the news. Test results come back on the illegal well waste dumping. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories for the Cayman 27 newsroom. 5 months after the National Roads Authorities was caught illegally dumping well waste into the wetlands along Linford-Pearson Highway, test results confirmed the presence of a known carcinogen in samples sent abroad for testing. This highly technical 18-page report from the Water Authority Cayman on the characterization of waste from the stormwater well cleaning answers many of the unanswered questions about what's in the well wastewater itself and how long the NRA has been illegally dumping it into our environment. For more on this report, visit Cayman27.ky. The most recent Department of Environment update on Cayman's iguana cull shows a 2-week tally of 92,943 iguanas, averaging out to a little bit over 77.45 per day. And finally today, Republic Bank Trinidad has extended its share purchase offer deadline to Cayman National Corporation shareholders to November 23rd. Now, this is the second extension from the Barbados-based conglomerate. The new extension was published on the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange. The bank is seeking to acquire up to 74.99% of the ordinary shares at Cayman National. Its current offer is $625 per share. The partial offer from the bank was initially expected to expire on Monday evening. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Good morning, Cayman! And thank you all very much for tuning in. Let this be part of your morning and part of your day. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And today is going to be another one of those, I guess we say humdinger of a day. I'm really, really excited about it. We're just going to have a lot to do. We're going to be giving away some prizes this morning, so you got to keep tuned. I'm going to be giving that away after the first time check. So when we come back from the 7:15 thereabouts time check, we're going to be opening the phone lines up to lucky winner. I'm going to give away 2 tickets. Even though sales tells me that I should give away, individual tickets to 2 individual people, 1 each, I decided that I like people to take and experience things with friends and family and loved ones and significant others. It's just that much sweeter, especially if they have issues of finances or whatever it may be. I don't want it to be an issue whatsoever, so I'm just going to give away a pair of tickets. And sales can take it up with me later. I just don't care about that. I just want you all to be happy. And as you well know, if you listen to my show, I don't give you hardball questions. I make it as easy as possible. So I want a winner this morning, and I'm looking forward to having that great winner very, very shortly as well. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to be giving away very, very shortly. I'm going to tease you on it a little bit. But coming up, we're going to have a couple individuals in the studios. And I'm really looking forward to this because it's one of my most favorite people in the world, Mr. Derek Bogle and his son Arthur from Bogle Insurance Brokers. They are the key sponsors for the Parade of Lights this year, Bogle Insurance Brokers. And I'm excited to have them in the studios this morning talking about Bogle Insurance Brokers. They're 30 years, celebrating 30 years, but Derek, Mr. Bogle, has been in insurance, probably from the mid-'60s as well. And so we're going to get a little synopsis of where they are right now and how they're doing. If you've ever been to their offices down in Pasadena Place, you know they're well outfitted. They got some great staff there, got wonderful trained individuals. Really excited about talking to them and congratulating them on being the key sponsor for one of the island's largest gatherings, which is the Parade of Lights. And it's going to be beautiful this year. I can't wait to really see it. Commander Bay is going to be lit with lights from the water and from the shoreline as well. Going to be lots to do, lots to see. And I understand the fireworks are going to be absolutely spectacular. So looking forward to all of those things. Coming up, we're going to be talking with them very shortly. Then we're going to get into some little controversial discussions. Yes, we're going to be talking about protecting our children and how are we going to be doing that. So you got to keep tuned at 8 o'clock. We're going to have Carlina that's going to be coming in along with possibly others as well. I'm not sure yet whom, but usually she brings a wonderful panel of great minds in the studios. Last time that she was on, we had a great discussion talking about gender and what that means within society and what have we created and what are we thinking. Great discussions come out from those things. And so we're going to continue those kind of discussions as well, trying to protect our children and the next generation. So that should be a great discussion. And then closing off the morning, we're going to have a local artist in the studios, Mr. Gordon Solomon. And Gordon is not only just a visual artist, but he's a musical artist as well. So we're going to have him in the studios. He currently has an exhibition going on at the National Museum. And we're going to be talking more about that. I guess you would say from whence his inspiration came for this exhibition and possibly some of his songs that he's released as well, talking about a whole plethora of various different things this morning. And so I'm really excited to bring all of that to you and the Cayman Islands and also across the world as well. I just want to sincerely thank all of you for tuning in and just watching the videos and sharing the videos and around the world. Thank you very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. It means a great deal to me, and especially the wonderful, kind comments that you do and your recommendations and also your liking aspect of it. We greatly appreciate it. And to everyone else out there, jot these numbers down as well, because I would like to give some tickets away. And the tickets are worth, I'm going to give you a little ballpark figure. Tickets are going to be worth $60. And I'm going to tease you with that because I'm going to give you a little tidbits that's going to be going on each time. So they're worth $60. And I'm going to tease you this morning just a little bit of the various different things that I want you to have. And they're tickets. A pair of tickets, 15 and 16, to the CNCF, which is the National Cultural Foundation, and that is at the Hartwell Theater. They're presenting Moon on a Rainbow Shawl, and it's by Errol John. And I'll tell you the truth, I want you to jot these things down because this might be part of your question that's going to be coming in as well. And the stage, the stage is designed by, and the whole entire play is directed by Dr. Henry Matu. And so I just want you all to jot that down. The play actually started from the 1st of November, going straight through until November the 26th. And this here, ladies and gentlemen, is tickets for this Sunday matinee. And so they should be well seasoned this morning. And I would like all of you to have these tickets. And I want you to have something to do this Sunday at 6 p.m. I'm giving away a pair of tickets. I know they say they wanted individual tickets to be given, but I am going to give a pair to a lucky individual because I want you to take a friend with you, take a significant other, take someone that's going to share the special moment with you. And I can, if you've never been to a live production, this might be the best opportunity for you to do it. I'm going to tell you, once you experience live theater, it is something that's going to get it within your skin and it's going to get within your soul as well, and that you're going to want to continue going and supporting the beautiful arts. I can tell you there's something that is special about it, and I want to share that with all of you as well. And it will be remiss of me not to just say this right before I got to go to do my little closing. You may note that I'm wearing a mustache. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Movember, and I want to sincerely thank the close to 200 individuals that chose the Tom Selleck look. This one is not the Magnum PI per se. This one is called the Quigley Down Under. And I didn't know what Quigley Down Under was. I had to go and watch it. And one person, along with my 4-year-old, picked this one out. And so the reason why I'm growing a mustache and growing it in this fashion is simply for the mere fact that it's Movember. And Movember was created to bring awareness about prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is one of the cancers that, when detected early, when tackled early, a wonderful gentleman can have a wonderful, happy, long life. It's one of the most curable, most, how would you say, easily taken care of cancers there is. But if you wait too long, you can lose a significant person. In fact, I'm speaking to you, gentlemen. You can lose your life. Every day I lament over the passing of a dear friend, and I wonder whether or not I could have said something and have done something if I could have pushed him more to go and get more detection and check his PSA levels and so forth, just to make sure that everything was cool. And because we live in the Caribbean, and a lot of our wonderful men have Afro origins in their bloodstream, you're much more susceptible to prostate cancer. And I am making an appeal to you all, gentlemen out there. If I'm looking ridiculous, I'm looking ridiculous because I don't want you to lose your life. I don't want your families to mourn your passing. I want you to get detected, and I want you to go and handle it if you have an issue. And remember, if you're 40 years and older, it is advisable that maybe you can start checking out. Some people say 45, but we live in the Caribbean, and I prefer to be more safe than sorry. So if you're 40 and over, please come to the screening tomorrow evening at the Lion Center at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to be a free seminar put on by the wonderful CFTMH Doctors Hospital. I want to sincerely thank them for sponsoring it. When you come, gentlemen, we're going to be talking about prostate cancer. We're going to be giving you tips, tidbits. You can ask all the questions, whether or not you can have sex, and having sex is good for you, or whether or not it's bad, or all of the things that may be on your mind. We're going to answer all the questions. It's going to be a candid conversation like you've never had before. But the best part about it is CTMH Doctors Hospital is offering free, I'm going to repeat this word one more time, free PSA testing. It's a blood test that can tell whether or not there's any proteins or any elevated symptoms within your blood. They can see your PSA screening increased. If there is, they're going to have doctors around. You won't know that for a couple of days, obviously, because we expect to have hundreds. I want to have hundreds. I want to have packed people there. We're going to make sure that you're going to be taken care of. And I want to sincerely thank Cancer Society for organizing it as well, and all the gentlemen that are going around collecting funds by wearing mustaches and putting it all towards the Cancer Foundation. So, gentlemen, once again, I'm appealing to all of you and you women out there that love us and put up with our stupidness and our pig-headedness and our stubbornness. Push us and prompt us. Please make sure that we don't lose another loved one. Like me, I lament every day, especially every Friday, because it was a special time in my life. Friday spending with my friend. And all I can do now is remember and reminisce about times, laughter, and everything else. So I'm appealing to all of you. Come out with me tomorrow night, Lion Center at 7 o'clock. Free screenings for PSA at the Lion Center, okay? Thank you. And I'm going to take a little phone call right now. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning, Cayman Islands, beside two that are in it.
Well, you're happy this morning.
Well, I've listened to you, but I'm going to tell you what, you're not coming through too heavy on the radio, and you're not on the TV.
We're still not on the TV?
No, sir.
Don't vex me this morning. Don't vex me this morning.
I'm not rowing with you. If I don't tell you, you won't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Am I right?
I agree. Yes. I just
have to inform you.
Yes.
I don't know who else to call there to inform.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just making you know, and your signal on the radio is weak.
All right. Well,
when I try to turn it up, you're getting this. Shh.
All right. I'll tell Leonard right away to see if he can take care of that.
You follow what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, and I love all the sound. I'll tell you the truth. You missed your calling. You should have been one of those individuals like Michael Winslow that do all of these wonderful little sounds and so forth. Yeah, I think you missed your calling. Number one.
Well, I missed that years ago. That was missed from years ago.
All right, well, my friend, we got to do this time check, and I'm glad that.
Wait, one last thing I want to ask you: how come they don't read no more of those emails or things people sending whenever the news is on?
Huh?
In the evening.
Oh, in the evening? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have very little to do with the news department.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I can pass it on to the new news director, which is Mr. Kevin Morales, and make sure that he can follow up with that and see what's happening.
Yeah, they always read like when people sending something concerning a certain matter, and this one will say this, the other one will say that, so.
All right. Well, you know what? I got to ask you a question. Here's the thing that I have. Here's a question that I have for all of you. Maybe you can be the first one to start it. What do you think? A lot of people were, over the weekend, was talking to me, saying it was so nice to have a long weekend. In fact, almost every week in the first half of the year, we have a holiday. And they were saying, why not just make it permanent? Why not just have a 4-day work week.
That's laziness. That's laziness.
Not necessarily. I think it'll be more productive. I think people want to work more.
I wish I could get out there and work like you.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know, I'm still trying to ask the Energizer Bunny to help me out a little bit. But number one, we got to pay some bills. I want you to help me out. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to say this until this limited time offer. It's on the books. It may expire shortly. So I like to bring my wonderful listening audience a great deal all the time. And here's what you can get from my wonderful sponsor at Subway. Subway has 6 locations on Grand Cayman, and they also serve coffee if you didn't know. But here's how they're going to make you know that they're going to be serving coffee as well. At the 6 locations of Subway, you simply go in, you get a cup of coffee, and Subway will give you a free cookie. Yes, along with your cup of coffee. You can't go wrong with that. A free cookie with a cup of coffee. Everywhere else, you got to buy coffee, and then you got to buy the cookie as well. But Subway, for a limited time, will give you a free cookie, any cookie of your choice. I like the macadamia nut. My former intern, Christopher, loved the chocolate chip. The chief pirate, Melanie McPhail, likes the oatmeal raisin. And the list can go on and on and on. They got so much choices, so much varieties. So remember, there's 6 locations that you can get this wonderful deal from Subway. And if you want to go at 4 o'clock in the morning, they have 2 stores that have been open 24/7. One in West Bay at Centennial Towers, the other one in Central Georgetown at Anderson Square. Subway.
Eat fresh, eat delicious, including the cookies.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway. With 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway. Eat fresh. Eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet, any style, carpet or tile, insulation and drywall too. Everything's beautiful, come and see. The Paramount name means quality. It'll be a brand new world under your feet. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount. Carpet.
Make the most of your morning at Burger King with Burger King's unbeatable breakfast special. 2 croissants for just $4. Take 2 bacon, egg, and cheese croissants, 2 sausage, egg, and cheese, or mix and match. Add a refreshing OJ or delicious hash browns, plus tea or coffee for a true breakfast of champions. 2 croissants for just $4, available until 10:30 weekdays and 11 a.m. on weekends. Only at Burger King, 7 Mile Beach, Waterfront, Walkers Road, Town Center Plaza, and now Red Bay.
It's a beautiful planet, and right now you can see it right here on Cayman 27. In this series, we'll travel to some of the most fascinating places as we explore the UNESCO heritage sites found around the world. From Stonehenge to the Grand Canyon, there are thousands of sites that will leave you in awe. Beautiful Planet is a series that will take a closer look into these wonders of the world. Join us to witness this beautiful planet. Eclipse.
Eclipse Hair Design and Day Spa. Discover the difference.
Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday to all of you. And I'm going to start opening up the lines for all of you to win a pair of tickets. Yes, my sales want me to give away one ticket for two individuals. So one ticket each. But I've decided they're going to have to take it up with me. I'm going to give away a pair of tickets to a lucky winner this morning. Once you jot down our numbers for us, the number in studios is 233-1019, 233-1019. And that is the in-studio number that I'm going to open up the lines for. That is 233-1019. It's sponsored by our wonderful friends at Superior Auto. And if you're just tuning in right now, I just want to say to you, and if you're needing a place to take your automobile to get servicing, even your boat propeller, anything, Superior Auto can actually help you out with all of that. They're a great place to go. If you don't want to have a conniption fit when you see your service invoice coming back, well, Superior Auto is that place to go. If you want fair pricing and even better servicing, Superior Auto is the place for you. So 233-1019, 233-1019 is going to be the number that I'm going to ask all of you to call right now. And I'm going to give away a pair of tickets. And I said some things at the very beginning of the show. If you're just tuning in now, I'm going to kind of recap just a little bit of what I said as well. In addition to that, we also have all the social media. We have the WhatsApp, which is 324-1019, 324-1019. In addition to that, we're going to have the email open, which is caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky. And also, I'm working right now on a Facebook page, and that is Cayman Crosstalk. If you're over at our sister station, I'm sorry. I really, really can't help you. Here is the thing. The only caveat I have is that if you played the game before and if you won something over the last couple of weeks, we're simply asking you, please don't participate this morning. Leave it for another wonderful audience. Remember, even though that we can't see who's calling us, it's just sometimes, averaging. If you play enough, you're going to win. That's just how it is, the law of averages. So we're just simply asking all of you, if you can, simply, if you won something already, just let someone else win and try for it as well. I'm giving a pair of tickets away, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cayman National Cultural Foundation's presentation of Errol John's Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. And it is going to be directed by Dr. Henry Matu. He's also the set designer as well. It's going to be at the Harkwell Theater. This wonderful show has started on the 1st of November. It will be ending on the 25th of November. I have a pair of tickets for this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, for one of their matinee performances that's going to be at 6 p.m. And I'm giving away a pair of tickets so you can take a significant other. And so those are some of the things that I'm going to be asking all of you if you want to participate. Number in the studios is 233-1019. That is 233-1019. I'm going to ask my Director General to run in here very quickly and pick a number. I got four lines here, 233-1019. I want to give away a ticket, and I don't want to be the biased one. Director General, I need you to run in here quickly. I know you can put a camera on me somewhere, and you can pick a line for me. And it's 233-1019, 233-1019. All right, he's WhatsApp me, lazy brute. He WhatsApp me line 2, that lazy thing. Couldn't even run. And he's a young, fit man, too. Line 2. Good morning, caller. Hello? Hello? All right, didn't hold on. Give me another number. 233-1019. Line 3. You laser thing, you. All right. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Very good morning to you. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you very much for calling in. Work smart, not harder. That's my Director General, Leroy Rodriguez Blanco. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You know why I'm fantastic? Because I'm hoping to give you a pair of tickets. That's why I'm excited, to be honest with you. All right, caller. Do you know, I guess I just want to get it out of the way. You're calling because you would like to win a pair of tickets, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, brilliant. All right. You heard me say a few little things about the tickets I'm giving away?
Yes, sir.
All right, brilliant. Can you tell me what is the name of the play that I'm giving the pair of tickets to? Hello.
Is it Moonlight?
You got Moon in there. You got Moon in there. You got Moon in there, but no. I'm going to give you one more opportunity. All right?
All right.
All right. Moon is in the title, but it's not Moonlight. It's Moon. And secondly, who is the director of it?
Henry Matou.
Pardon me?
Henry Matou?
All right. Excellent. Do you know who wrote the play?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, all right. I needed you to know the title. I'm sorry. Thank you for calling.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open the lines up again. 233-1019, 233-1019. This sweetheart was so close. Oh, all you need to do is just tell me the title. There's a few little things on there. We got 4 lines lit. Director General, do your smart working and give me a number. I'm not going to pick it myself. My Director General, he's supposed to be this young, smart, strapping young man. But I tell you the truth, line 1. Yeah, Leroy. All right. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning? All right. Jeez, my gosh. 233. Another one, Leroy. Another one. 4. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning? Hello? What in the world is happening here? All right. I'm just going to pick one, Leroy. I'm going to pick one right now. I'm going to pick line number 1. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. How are you this morning?
I am great. How are you?
I am brilliant. I'm excited because I need you. I need you to uplift me. Okay, I really do, because the former caller, I wanted to give it to her so bad, and I'm disappointed that I couldn't make her smile this morning. But I want you to smile, and I want you to uplift me. Can you help me out with that?
I'll try.
All right, darling. And I just want to make sure you're calling to try to win a pair of tickets, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, can you tell me who is putting on the play? Which organization?
CNCF.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. You got one. And here's the most important one. What is the name of this play that CNCF is putting on?
Moon of a Rainbow.
All right. Moon on a Rainbow.
Moon on a Rainbow.
What's the last one? Come on. You got to tell me. The thing you put over a woman wear their own cross their necks and so forth. It begin with S.
Scarf.
Uh-huh.
Scarf.
Almost. I'm sorry, caller. I'm sorry. I can't get. I'm sorry. Thank you for trying. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to cancel all the calls. 233-1019, 233-1019. I need to be happy this morning. I need to give this away. I'm going to say it one more time. One more time. I'm not going to open all the lines up. And you callers that didn't win before, the lines are lit. I mean, they're like a Christmas tree this morning. I just need you all to tell me the name of the play that is currently going on with CNCF. That's all I really need, to be honest with you. That's like the main one. Leroy, I'm asking you again, work smart. Give me a number, my friend. All lines are lit. We got 4 lines blinking in the studios. And so I want to give this away. And he is saying line 3. Yes. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am brilliant. I just want to be I want to be shining like a diamond after speaking with you, because I want to make you happy. All right?
Shine like a diamond.
Mm-hmm. You got it. You going to sing for me this morning, too? Ooh. All right, caller. Are you ready to play and win a pair of tickets? You're ready to play. All right.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who is putting a play on that started on the 1st of November and ending on the 25th of November? Who is putting a play on?
The National Cultural Foundation.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. Can you tell me the name of that play that they're putting on that is running straight through from November 1 until the 25th?
A Moon and a Rainbow Show.
Ooh, cheese and child. Boy, you've been listening. All right. One more, just a bonus question just for me, and see if anybody got it. Can you tell me who will be the director and set designer of this wonderful production that's put on by the CNCF?
And the director and set designer is Henry Matou.
Ding, 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 ding. You are a winner. Oh, my gosh. Winner, chicken dinner. Yes, caller. You don't know what you just did to me because I just had a disappointment. For the first time, I could not give tickets away. Oh, my goodness gracious. So I'm so excited that you are going to win these 2 tickets. Now, caller, we have a thing here. 2 things you need to do for us once you win a ticket here at Cayman Crosstalk. The first one is you got to tell us who made you a winner. And you got to say Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 because Cayman Crosstalk is special and unique. You know that, right?
Correct.
So who made you a winner this morning?
Cayman Crosstalk and Rooster 101.
Oh, I need to get you. I need you to come in and record that for me. You got a wonderful voice, caller. All right, caller. And before you end, I need you to crow a nice rooster crow for me. That's a prerequisite. That's one of the caveats that we have here if you're winning. You ready?
I suppose.
All right, go on. Give us your best rooster crow. One more time. One more time for me. Just one more time, please. I need it. All right, caller. I need you to hold online so I can get your contact details, and you can come and pick up your tickets. Remember, these are for this Sunday. Thank you very much for playing. You made my morning. And to all of the others that are there, thank you very much. And I'm going to just open up. And this week, we're going to be giving away some more as well. I got some tickets to probably put $5,000 in your hand. And coming up right after this, we're going to have the title sponsor for the beautiful Parade of Lights, one of the largest events in the Cayman Islands. Held down here at Cayman Bay is absolutely spectacular. We're going to have Bogle Insurance Brokers in the studios. We're going to have the founder, Mr. Derek Bogle himself. Yes, man that I really admire. And I tell you, for those that are out there, I appreciate him greatly. And I'm glad to be knowing him. In addition, we're going to have the CEO, his son, Arthur, in the studios with us as well. We're going to be talking about Bogle Insurance Brokers celebrating 30 years and doing so with a big bang by sponsoring the Parade of Lights. Be right back after this short news break. And thank you all very much for tuning in and playing this morning.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway. With 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway, eat fresh, eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Cayman Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboo. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
I just need to know, whose side are you on?
This part's where the experiment really begins.
This ain't no place for no hero. This ain't no place for no better man. This ain't no place for no hero. Come home. They're coming. This ain't no place for no hero.
Let Elite Marble and Granite bring the charm of Italy to your home. Made from only the best materials. Santa Margherita Quartz is handcrafted at a state-of-the-art facility located in Italy and then journeys across the ocean to Elite Marble and Granite, who is the exclusive distributor in the Caribbean. Elegant and resistant, Santa Margherita Quartz products offer a large choice of colors, textures, and exclusive finishes. Call 945-9028 or visit us online at elite.ky. Elite Marble and Granite, where perfection costs less.
Test results come back on the illegal well waste dumping. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories for the Cayman 27 newsroom. 5 months after the National Roads Authorities was caught illegally dumping well waste into the wetlands along Linford-Pearson Highway, test results confirmed the presence of a known carcinogen and samples sent abroad for testing. This highly technical 18-page report from the Water Authority Cayman on the characterization of waste from the stormwater well cleaning answers many of the unanswered questions about what's in the well wastewater itself and how long the NRA has been illegally dumping it into our environment. For more on this report, visit Cayman27.ky. The most recent Department of Environment update on Cayman's iguana coal shows a 2-week tally of 92,943 iguanas, averaging out to a little bit over 77.45 per day. And finally today, Republic Bank Trinidad has extended its share purchase offer deadline to Cayman National Corporation shareholders to November 23rd. Now, this is the second extension from the Barbados-based conglomerate. The new extension was published on the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange. The bank is seeking to acquire up to 74.99% of the ordinary shares at Cayman National. Its current offer is $625 per share. The partial offer from the bank was initially expected to expire on Monday evening. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday to all of you. And I am pumped this morning for several different reasons. I was able to finally give away a pair of tickets, yes, ladies and gentlemen, to a great production at the Hartwell Theater. And I just want to sincerely thank that caller and all the callers that called in. The lines were lit like Christmas trees. And so I'm happy this morning, but I'm even super happier because I got two of my most favorite people in the world, especially the daddy, the founder himself, been a long time friend. And I just want to say welcome on both to the studios. Bogle Insurance Brokers are now the title sponsor for one of the island's largest productions and events, which is the Parade of Lights. And I just want to sincerely thank them for coming into the studios. And I want to welcome, first and foremost, Mr. Derek Bogle, founder. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Woody.
Welcome to the studios.
Thank you.
All right. And we also have his son and right-hand man and everything else in between as well, and the CEO of Bogle Insurance Brokers, Mr. Arthur Bogle. Good morning.
Good morning, Woody. Thanks for having us.
Honestly, Arthur, it's a pleasure. And I just want to say the reason why it's a pleasure is that when you hear of a local company that has been celebrating 30 years, that's a celebration in itself. To see that you survive the decades and the storms and the tumultuous times that could be in and out, and that shows that you've been doing something right for 30 years. And I just want to say to both of you, congratulations from growing from strength to strength and looking at your new offices and looking how you're expanded, looking at your wonderful staff that's in there. It is just a wonderful treat for me this morning just to simply say congratulations. And I'm very, very happy and proud of this Caymanian company.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
You know, Derek, if you don't mind me asking, my friend, obviously you're celebrating 30 years as Bogle Insurance Brokers. Can you give us a little background on Bogle Insurance Brokers for us? Because after all, you've been in insurance much longer than 30 years. Tell us a little bit about the history and the background.
Woody, "30 years ago, it would have been beyond my wildest dreams to think that Bogle Insurance Brokers would be celebrating its 30th anniversary. As I look back over the years, I can remember the Easter of 1961. At the invitation of my good friend to this day, Errol Bush, I came to Cayman for the Easter weekend. On stepping off of the BWIA Viscount and on the tarmac where mosquitoes were eating us alive, I fell in love. And I just felt something come over me and believe to this day that I was back home to the land of my grandfather's birth. On going into Cayman, then realized a song that Percy Worms sang many years after. Where we live is right next door to heaven.
Yep.
In 1965, I went into the insurance business, life insurance business in Jamaica. And many Caymanians would come over who I met and sold life insurance to. I was then invited to come back to Cayman by another very good friend to this day, Bernard Watler. And he would take me around and introduce me to people. The Monday morning, with us both going out, I came out of his mother's house dressed in a suit, as was the custom of life insurance people to wear suits in Jamaica. And Brainerd looked at me and said, "No, Derek. Let's go back inside. Put on the oldest pair of jeans you can find." And there it began.
Wow, 1965, huh? And today we're celebrating 30 years. And you know, when I'm looking at it, and when we come back, I want to talk about, if you don't mind, Arthur, where have you taken it? Because you're taking it now and to the next level. And you're now not just only started off, your dad started off in life insurance. Now you're just brokering all kind of coverages for everything and anything that anyone would need, for businesses, for home, for life, for property, anything, vehicles, all of the various different things that you would need for insurance cover. Bogle Insurance Brokers can help you get covered for that. When we come back, I want you to talk about Bogle Insurance Brokers just a little bit now. And what is an insurance broker? Those are some of the little questions I want to ask you. We can come right back after this short little break. And I just want to say to all of you, time check right now is 7:48. Time check is brought to you by our wonderful friends at Subway. Subway is our great sponsor for the first hour. And I just want to say to you, to Subway, and I say this personally, thank you, Subway, for being such a great community partner. Subway's Can Drive is back. Ladies and gentlemen, what that means is if you bring your canned goods, any non-perishable goods, to any of the 6 locations of Subway across Grand Cayman, they will give you a free cookie. All of your canned goods will be collected and given to 2 wonderful charities that help a lot of individuals, especially during this time that's coming up this festive season, Christmas. Not a lot of people have all the bells and whistles and everything else. And you'll be surprised how much a little can of tuna or something else that you may have can go a long way. And Subway just wants to say thank you when you bring your stuff in by giving you a free cookie. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a free cookie. We're going to be giving away these cans to Feed Our Future and also Meals on Wheels. So we're asking all of you to please extend your wonderful Cayman kind during this holiday season and come to all 6 locations with your canned goods and just make somebody else Christmas that much better. And I say to you personally, thank you in advance for the wonderful works that you do You'll be blessed. Be right back after this short little news break with Bogle Insurance Brokers.
This hour of Cayman Crosstalk is powered by Subway. Subway, with 6 locations across Cayman, you know it makes sense to choose Subway. Subway, eat fresh, eat delicious. More of Cayman Crosstalk is next on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure, we're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
Watch as global adventurer and filmmaker Marlon Dara journeys across the world's most beautiful countries and cities. You'll explore breathtaking landmarks, art, and architecture from the Caribbean, Europe, Central and South America, and so much more. Immerse yourself in the local culture, history, and beauty as you follow his endless journeys of adventure every weekday, only on Cayman 27.
Have you had your Tortuga moment today? Come by Tortuga Fine Wine and Spirits for all your liquor needs and taste the world-famous Tortuga rum and rum cake. Always delicious and baked fresh daily in the captivating Cayman Islands. With ongoing renovations at the airport, we invite you to shop our stores and buy before you fly. Relive the Cayman Islands in every bite.
Yeah, Shamal, thank you. Shamal is saying that you're going to have light northeasterly winds and seas are expected over the next 24 hours as a ridge of high pressure weakens as it moves over the western Atlantic Ocean. Cold front, currently across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, will move towards the Yucatan Peninsula and will support north to northeasterly winds across the northwest Caribbean. From tonight, radar images show isolated showers over the Cayman area moving towards the west. Therefore, today, your synopsis is going to be partly cloudy skies with 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be approximately 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight. Wave heights 1 to 3 feet. Tonight is going to be roughly partly cloudy skies with the same synopsis. 30% chance of showers, mainly over Grand Cayman. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Wind will be northeast to 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to 1 to 3 feet. You got a similar weather forecast pattern straight through until Friday morning. And you're going to probably be picking up a little bit more rain tomorrow and Friday as well. Join me back with Bogle Insurance Brokers, the key sponsor for the Parade of Lights.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019. Or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday to all of you. And it's a happy day for me because I got two fantastic gentlemen in the studios, and they are from Bogle Insurance Brokers. I got Mr. Derek Bogle, the founder, and his son, right-hand man, and everything else, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer, too, the CEO, Mr. Arthur Bogle. Arthur, welcome back. And, you know, we heard a little bit of the historic background of how Bogle Insurance Brokers started, really. And in earnest, you know, way back in 1988, he created the brokerage. And I remember him telling me, he says, you know what? People had to go off and on, and I had to go over because I was using so much different places overseas, and they would have to wait. And I decided that Cayman deserved to have a place that they can get instant notification, instant gratification, so to speak. So he created Bogle Insurance Brokers way back in 1988. You're celebrating 30 years. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about where you are now.
Well, we are a full-service broker. Ever since Hurricane Ivan, where we were kind of, I guess, baptized in fire, if you will, or rain and water instead, we really shifted our focus from, at the time, which was, personal lines, life insurance, home insurance, car insurance, to really try to become a full-service broker. And that's not an easy thing to do because there's a lot of different lines of business in insurance. And so we have a lot of specialists and experts in our various lines of business in the company, which really focus on each line. And I'd like to start off by really thanking them for all of their hard work in what they do for the company and how they go the extra mile. It really is heartening to see really how invested they are, how happy they are generally working for the company, and how much they really enjoy helping our customers.
You know, like you said now, you have a plethora of different servicing, and each one of those persons that work for you is almost an expert in their field. So whatever you need, whether or not it's property insurance, whether it's business insurance coverage or vehicular, whatever it may be, you have somebody that can actually service their needs easily. And in fact, if they just have one agent, they're so well cross-trained that they can help anybody. And you have the in-house staff that will augment the servicing. I've been there and I've experienced the wonderful servicing that Bogle Insurance Brokers offer as well. You know, Arthur, for most people, what is an insurance broker, by the way? I mean,
it's a simple question, but I do think a lot of people don't pay much mind to it. I mean, a broker in a nutshell is really a professional who is obligated to advise you in your best interests. Okay. So the role of a broker, everyone appreciates the aspect of it you see in the beginning, which is obtaining competitive rates for you. Because obviously, if you don't get competitive rates, you're not going to start off with a good buying experience. But where I think separates the better brokers are the services that come after that, which is presenting those terms, advising the customer on their coverage and how to best modify it to suit their needs, and how to best set their values, and really to tailor the insurance for what they want.
You know, I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of people, I don't think, realize that you do all the groundwork for them. You look at various different providers and you come to them. For example, if I came to you and I said, Arthur, this is what I'm looking for. Instead of me taking hours on end going through all of the whole entire paperwork and coverage and all the legal jargon, you actually look at all of those ones along with the rates that I'm going to be paying. And you're going to say, look, I found this one that meets, 90% of your criteria. However, this may fall out of it, but I feel I'm advising you that this is the best deal forward going forward. And you can tailor make coverage for me in various different ways of that nature. At the end, saving me money and time, because time is money after all as well.
Yes, I mean that's what we hold ourselves. That's the standard we hold ourselves to. But even more importantly than that, which is again a lot of the upfront servicing aspect of what we do. I mean, obviously, making sure we dot all the I's and cross all the T's is very important, because you want contract certainty when there's a loss. You don't want to be
fighting for a settlement.
What I don't think you want to do is say, I want insurance for $500,000, and where do I sign? And then you have no idea how the coverage works,
right?
Or even how you came up with that value. But at the end of the day, there's an important part. I think an even more important part, which is when you have a claim, potentially many years down the road. Having someone really that is working for you and is working to advise you on what you owe, advise you on how to what you need to do to get your claim processed quickly, and when necessary in negotiating with the companies with respect to whether you even have a certain loss covered or what the quantum of that payment should be. So that's, I think, when you don't know insurance, to have to make a claim to an insurance company can be very daunting. So I think that's probably even the most important and unappreciated part of what we do, is helping you really when there's a problem.
Well, that's probably the reason why that I was reading somewhere that you're now the largest broker on island, and congratulations to that, because you only grow from strength to strength in that way. When you have a great staff that's going to continue servicing and you grow every year, and people only come to you and they only recommend people if you treated them with respect and care and diligence. And so I would say to you, congratulations on that wonderful strength as well. But I got to ask you, Arthur, given all of what has happened, that we had a lot of catastrophes last year in particular within the Caribbean, even this year in Florida, what is the state of the market today? I mean, is it tumultuous? Is it steady? Can we get good rates? How is it?
Well, good rates are all relative. We always just try to get the best rates available at the time. The market right now. Well, first I just want to make a quick note. We're one of the top 3 brokers in size in Cayman. We are what we like to what we're sort of proud of, I guess, is that we're the largest wholly Caymanian-owned brokerage.
Excellent.
Which is pretty important to us. But going back to the market obviously since 2004, in late 2004 when we got hit by Ivan, the rates went up dramatically, and for 13 years they were on the decline. In 2016 and the first part of 2017, the rates had the reduction in rates had really accelerated, and it was a bit of a roller coaster. It was difficult to know what a good rate was, because one minute you would get one rate and the next month you'd be getting something 5% lower. So it was sort of a difficult thing to benchmark. Sort of as a professional, you generally have an idea of what the best rates are, and when the target's always moving, it was a bit of a funny time, but a great time for the customers, because the rates had dropped down dramatically from really where they were after Ivan. We've really been suffering with that. That's a big cost of living insurance, property insurance.
Truly.
So it was really good to see. It was a little, obviously, for us, it was a little bit. We obviously had to make do with less in the pie, if you will. But we were very happy to see our customers benefit from those fantastic rates, and the rates really had really went down in the middle of last year to lower than what they were pre-Ivan.
Wow.
And so now what we've seen is obviously in those years where the rates were really dropping, it was because the global reinsurance market, there was a lot of capacity. There had previously been a lot of profits, but those profits had been narrowing dramatically during those years, even as the rates were going down. And so, insurers were reporting very, very thin margins for quite some time before the Caribbean got hit last year. So it was only natural that when we had a big hit in the Caribbean that there would be an adjustment. It was only a matter of time before that would come anyway. Fortunately, the rates today are still better than what they were back in 2015. And obviously the 2015 rates were at an 11-year low from Ivan. So it's all relative. The rates are a little higher than they are, significantly higher than they were last year. But if you look back over the last 15 years, they're still relatively low, and they're finally, we seem to be off the roller coaster ride, and things are actually stable, and the rates are pretty reasonable.
Excellent.
All things considered.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that we're getting a reprieve. And if you want to find some of those things as well, how do we get a hold of you, Arthur? Where do we find Bogle Insurance Brokers?
Well, we're located in Pasadora Place, right in the heart of the island, on Smith Road, next to the Georgetown Hospital, and our phone number is 949-0579, and you can contact us by email at service@bogleins.com.
Excellent, and that's www.bogleins.com, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to find out much more details, and like Arthur was saying, simply come by Pasadora Place and just park right down to the very back. Right when you're coming down that corner, that U shape, they're right at the very corner. You can't help but see them right in there. Just walk right in. You'll see the wonderful staff that there can help you. They got all the experts from life insurance, medical insurance, property insurance, car insurance, whatever kind of coverage that you need. Bogle Insurance Brokers can actually help you. And, Big D, I just want you to have the last words. And I just want to say to you, my friend, congratulations again on celebrating 30 years. And in my mind, it was never a surprise to see that you're still going, a man of your good integrity and your good stead. There's no doubt that you're going to celebrate another 30 years with Arthur at the helm.
Another 30 years, but not with me there.
You will probably outlive all of us, Derek. Especially with all that good insurance cover that you have. All right, gentlemen, I want to sincerely thank you all for coming in and say to both of you, congratulations again. And also, congratulations on being the title sponsor of one of the island's largest wonderful events, Christmas time, and probably throughout the whole entire year. That is the Parade of Lights. And Arthur, I just want to sincerely wish you all the best. And I'm looking forward to speaking a little bit more about you and seeing the forward momentum and the progress that you're having, and to your staff as well that makes your business and continue growing on a daily basis. All the best to all of you. And I'm really appreciative to know that you're the largest wholly owned Caymanian brokerage in the Cayman Islands. That is, to me, very deserves an applaud and also a standing ovation, to be honest with you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here.
I'm looking forward to having you much more. Derek, you did a good job, my friend. I'm really, really proud of you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up, we're going to have some controversial topics. People think this is always controversial, but we're going to be talking about how do we protect our youngsters against sexual predators and so forth. We're going to have a great discussion. Carlina is going to be bringing in her A-team as well.
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Now, from the Cayman 27 News Team, here are your latest news headlines, brought to you by the Cayman Pharmacy Group, with West Bay Pharmacy, Savannah Pharmacy, and Professional Pharmacy. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Visit them today. Now, here's your news headlines. Test results come back on the illegal well waste dumping. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories for the Cayman 27 newsroom. 5 months after the National Roads Authorities was caught illegally dumping well waste into the wetlands along Linford-Pearson Highway, test results confirmed the presence of a known carcinogen in samples sent abroad for testing. This highly technical 18-page report from the Water Authority Cayman on the characterization of waste from the stormwater well cleaning answers many of the unanswered questions about what's in the well wastewater itself and how long the NRA has been illegally dumping it into our environment. For more on this report, visit Cayman27.ky. The most recent Department of Environment update on Cayman's iguana coal shows a 2-week tally of 92,943 iguanas, averaging out to a little bit over 77.45 per day. And finally today, Republic Bank Trinidad has extended its share purchase offer deadline to Cayman National Corporation shareholders to November 23rd. Now, this is the second extension from the Barbados-based conglomerate. The new extension was published on the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange. The bank is seeking to acquire up to 74.99% of the ordinary shares at Cayman National. Its current offer is $625 US per share. The partial offer from the bank was initially expected to expire on Monday evening. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Wednesday to all of you, and thank you all very much for tuning in and letting us be part of your morning part today. I have with me one of the most dynamic people that I know, and fearless. That's the word I'm going to have for her. Fearless individuals. Carlina, and I say welcome back to the studios.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I honestly, I just want to give you the feedback that we received, and I think I may have told you that as well. After our last discussion, we had a tremendous amount of feedback that it was such a controversial and, how would you say, thought-provoking and even heated. I didn't think it was heated, but even
you didn't watch it afterwards, did you?
I didn't. But apparently, a lot of people was very thankful for these kind of conversations because no one wants to have them.
No, they don't, and it's really difficult. We also got feedback as well. I had numerous survivors who ended up calling me afterwards as well, you know, in terms of saying, and I think it's until we can get to the point where we can break the silence for people who have had these experiences and everything else. The best that we can do is just try to, raise awareness, let people know what makes young people vulnerable, but also what makes it so difficult for people to talk about this. And I think it's important for us to try to break it down into these little pieces that we can kind of understand and wrap our heads around.
The thing with it is, I just wonder, you've been in this for a long while, and you train people to identify these various different issues. Why do you think that it is such a difficult taboo conversation that people, is like, let's not have this? It's like, are we in denial or is it ashamed?
I think there's a lot of different components, right? Like part of it is shame. Part of it is this notion that, this sort of false sense of security that we build around ourselves, that, these things can't happen to our families, that we're different, that this only happens to a particular type of people or group of people, right? That we try to separate ourselves from this being a possibility. Right. And statistically, as we've said every time, in terms of coming here, we know that in 90% of child sexual abuse cases, the perpetrator is someone that is known and possibly loved by the victim and their family, right? Because this is one of those things that end up happening in people's homes. And we don't give access to children to the people that we don't trust, right? So it's just like, so I think it's one of those things that really kind of, it requires quite a bit of us when it comes to, it's not about being suspicious of everybody, but it's also about, being aware and understanding that there is risk and understanding that there are certain things that you need to do, and it's every day that you like. Prevention is something that happens every day. Protection is something that happens every day. And I think the other aspects of it too come from this these social and cultural factors, right? That we every time we come in and we're talking about child sexual abuse and child sexual abuse prevention and talking about cultural change, people get very up in arms about it because it's just like, they're like, no, what are you talking about? Because we hold our culture very dearly. But there are aspects of our culture that are making young people vulnerable. There are aspects of our culture that basically empower a perpetrator to continue to act on and silence his victims or survivors. So I think it's about kind of looking at those things and dissecting those things as to how it all comes together to contribute to vulnerability. Well, the things that we're talking about today, actually, it's this idea of sexualization and the sexualization of children, which I know ends up being sort of this touchy topic, not in and of itself, but the minute that you put it together with something like, a national festival or the parades or something else, and it's just like, okay, well, how do we then try to figure out whether or not we've gone too far in terms of saying, well, you're just being too worried and too concerned, and how is it that we actually talk about this in a way that leads us to think a little bit more critically about the messages that we're sending to young people?
Well, I got to ask you, when we're talking about sexualization of an individual, what does that mean? Because it's kind of conflicting. And I got to ask you this, based on our last conversation, right? Which was, like I said, most people go, oh, it was heated. And it was good. But based on that, when we're talking about gender roles and so forth and empowerment of individuals, how does that dichotomy work? Because one would say, well, what is sexualizing somebody? But the other side is saying, well, they're empowered because they're doing who gives a bejeebus what anybody thinks. They're empowering themselves.
Right.
They're not being suppressed in any way whatsoever. They're, they're being them, I guess you would say. And, allowing to be them.
Right. Well, there's a difference. I think it is just like, and I actually have it up here, which is the definition that came from the American Psychological Association. They did an entire task force going on almost 10 years now on talking about sexualization of girls. And this is their definition of sexualization. It has 4 main points, right? Sexualization is when a person's value comes only from his or her sexual appeal or behavior to the exclusion of other characteristics. So in other words, it's like it's something that, just limits you to your sexual appeal, okay? When a person is held to a standard that equates a very narrowly defined version of physical attractiveness with being sexy. So in other words, sort of what the beauty standards are. And normally, like when it comes to sexualization of girls, because again, as we mentioned, a month ago, talking about gender roles and this idea of how we teach girls to, worry about how they look and to be pretty and, to be soft and all these things.
Right.
We tend to think about sort of this notion of being physically attractive as something that affects girls predominantly. But what we're seeing now is just like sort of the pendulum swinging when it comes to boys and men, right? And this idea of, sort of the really ripped body, what they call hunkvertising, right? Which is these sort of, like Greek godlike versions of men who are, the David Beckhams of the world and whatnot in their underwear and super ripped and with, their 6-pack or 9-pack or however many packs it is nowadays. But it's like this sort of ultra masculine, very fit form of was just like, and this idea of what it means to be, handsome as well. So it is something that we're seeing that this narrow idea of what it means to be physically attractive is not only now just restricted to girls, but we're seeing this as something that is affecting boys and men as well. The third point is a person being sexually objectified, that is made into a thing for other sexual use rather than being seen as a person with the capacity for independent action and decision making. And last but not least, and the one that I think ends up kind of coming into play when we're talking about things here, when sexuality is inappropriately imposed upon a person. So I think it's like this idea that we have somehow like, and I say this, about the sexualization of boys, right? When you put little boys in T-shirts that talk about, lock up your daughters, or I'm a tits man, because it's supposed to be about breastfeeding, or or save the boobies and all these things. And it's just like the issue isn't like, we know that these things are sexualized in some way. The child may not. but we know. And when we as adults make those decisions and put children in clothing that we know has either sexualized content or it could be taken a different way, then that becomes sexualization. So I think those are the things that are the difference between sort of this idea behind sexualization, which is something that ends up being imposed on people, as opposed to people identifying their own sexual identity and being able to express themselves in a way that is appropriate as well. Because I think because of these messages and the things that we end up seeing, I mean, if you think about it, we have everything from, toddlers and tiaras all the way through to some of these other shows and everything else. So it becomes really difficult to try to discern what is appropriate from what isn't, because there's such highly sexualized messages and they're so in our face so frequently that they've become commonplace, and it's not even just TV and media and everything else. If you even look, as part of my presentation, I actually have a comparison between the Candyland board from 1982 and the Candyland board from 2002. And you can see how, just like sort of the changes and stuff came from something that was sort of, really kid-friendly and whatnot to sort of this new idea of where everybody has this makeover and sort of, the big heads and the big eyes and the big lips and the tiny little bodies and stuff. And it's like we don't even see it anymore in terms of being able to identify that these sexualized messages are out there, when it comes to even clothing, right? And it's just like you have people who are marketing underwear sets, like bras and panty sets for 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds. And then they have, little embroidery for Little Miss Naughty. The Little Miss and Little Mister booklets are, the things that most of us probably grew up with and we're passing on to our kids. Right. But to have Little Miss Naughty embroidered on an underwear set with, a bra and underwear for little kids who are, it changes the context of what it is that you're trying to do.
I can see that one. It blows my mind with that a parent would actually do that to a child in any capacity. I mean, I'm just befuddled by it all. Carlene, I got to go and take a break, but
sure.
You actually burdened my brain just now with that particular one. I just can't get over people are so stupid.
Oh, wait till I tell you about Tesco.
Oh, my gosh. We'll be right back after this short message. What?
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Burger King's epic 2 for...
We're not just the most reliable energy service in the Caribbean. Whether it's for your entertainment, lighting a path to your future, or making sure that you and your family are secure. We're there for you when it matters most. Your safety and our reliability are our top priority. We are committed to remaining the #1 utility service in the Caribbean. We are CUC.
This is the Volvo Ocean Race, the story of a 45-year obsession. Sailing's iconic race around the world, the ultimate test of a team, and the place where elite sport meets human adventure. With up to 10 sailors packed into 65 feet of carbon fiber for weeks on end, in a race that lasts almost 9 months, it's an adventure that borders on a psychological experiment.
Dynafroze, Dragon's Revenge. One day, 4 boys from the future traveled back millions of years through time.
Once upon a time, deep under the sea, there lived a kind and clever little turtle named Tula.
Citizens of Lotus Valley, the hour is upon us. Our way of life is being dramatically threatened. You, the Alliance, are the last hope of freedom and the time.
(233-1019) or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. A happy Wednesday to all of you. And if you're just tuning in right now, I have Ms. Carlina Ferreira in the studios with us. And Carlina is probably one of the most bravest, fearless individuals that I know. And yes, we keep getting little blurbs from off-rank. Huh? What did you just say? But nevertheless, we're talking this morning. The topic is, how do we protect our youngsters from predators out there? And we're talking about child sexualization or sexualization of individuals. Not even just children, but it starts off at that age. You can imprint a lot of stuff on a child that they really don't know what their lives are. And if I may just kind of digress just a slight bit, I must admit to you, I had to go through life circumstances to realize things that are real. Sometimes you take for granted the upbringing that one has, like me, to be honest with you. I came from I thought, a very wonderful household. Never heard my parents argue as long as I lived, to be honest with you. My father was such a gentle soul, so to speak, and a wonderful man, but yet disciplinarian. My mother was the same, and she was an empowerer, a woman empowerer, just like all my wonderful sisters are. And I tell you the truth, I didn't realize that people didn't think the way that I thought and didn't value life the way that I thought I valued life until I got a little older. And I realized in meeting with people from a certain area that their lives were their normal lives. And I thought it was abstract from all of it, but they didn't know no better. Mm-hmm. They didn't know no better in terms of education or wanting anything more, sexualizing, looking the way. You got to dress up, you got to look this way to do these things, you got to think this way. And I couldn't get over, why are you doing that? Or why are you living that way? But truthfully, the children didn't know no better. That became normal for them. So I can understand what you're saying, that we got to be cautious and very cognizant of what we're doing, because we can be imprinting something on our children and we really don't even realize what we're doing until they're teenagers and you wonder what the heck happened. And I think a lot of parents are confused in that way. It's like, what went wrong? What happened to Carlina? Yeah. You know, I thought I was being a good parent or something, but you may have forgotten that during a certain stage, maybe there was an imprintation in some way.
And I think it's just, comes back to in terms of having those dialogues and talking, as a family and everything else, and that level of consistency, right? I mean, it's just like when I was growing up, as far as being a teenager, the worst thing that could have happened and the worst thing that did happen is that I went into the grunge phase, So it was the exact opposite of, some of these things that are going on now when it comes to sort of, the way that we're expressing ourselves and everything else. So, but I think parents forget just how powerful they are when it comes to being parents, guardians, mentors, teachers, as these sources for conversation, and also helping young people navigate through this. Because I mean, during the break, you were talking about some really huge female artists. You're talking about Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and all these people. But if you look at it from the perspective of the way that this whole thing was set up, in order to sort of either break out or to be considered to be adults now, that's essentially what from Janet Jackson's days, right? And it's just like, in order to be seen as to have grown and everything else, it has, for young women in particular, it has really become very sort of, taking ownership of that their sexuality and using that as part of, sort of how they're moving themselves to be viewed differently. Britney Spears did it. Christina Aguilera did it. So it's all sort of trying to break out of that Disney Channel, cookie cutter mode and whatnot, and try to figure out who they are. And I think that the pendulum ends up swinging pretty far. Whereas there aren't so much the same expectations when it comes to sort of young men in that industry. But I do think it's important to understand and to talk about these things, and it's just like music is a huge it's like for teenagers especially, and even those of us who really love music. I mean, the messages that are coming in with music, it's important to understand what it is that you're consuming. And I tell my young people, I'm not telling you not to like these people. I'm not telling you don't listen to them at all and whatnot, but understand what's being said, understand what the message is, and try to figure out, where do you stand? Are you okay with this? And it's just like, so that you can be a bit more aware as a consumer, as opposed to just kind of putting these things on and just having these subliminal messages that are out there without ever questioning what it is that you're listening to. And I think that the problem becomes, and it's just like when we're not making young people aware that there is such thing as sexualization. When we're, I recently took a trip to another Caribbean island where I was told, that in terms of trying to ask them about, about rape culture and all of these things, where a group of this person tells me that they were with a group of young people, and the boys were making a statement about, well, if you dress like that, then you should expect what's coming to you. And the girl's response was, well, we don't dress like this for you. We dress like this for the men. So it's just like, why? Because you're getting some really clear messages that are coming in, and it's just like, and young people are becoming, that sexualized that messaging is so powerful that it's coming through that, when it's just like that we are basically taking away from girls in particular, but it's just like you're taking away this multidimensional look at who they are, and rather being like, no, this is what I have, this is what I should be using for whatever reason. So, and then you have people who are capitalizing on that. Before the break, I told you, well, let me tell you about Tesco. And this was from a few years ago. But Tesco was actually advertising, and they had this in the kids aisle called the Peekaboo Pole. And the way that they actually, so it's basically a stripper pole that comes in a tube. And it had the advertising used to read, unleash the sex kitten inside. Simply extend a peekaboo pole inside the tube, slip on the sexy tunes, and away you go. Soon you'll be flaunting it to the world and earning a fortune in peekaboo dance dollars. So it actually came with pretend money, with the CD, and the actual stripper pole. And
for a child?
So yeah, this was in the toy section. So then, of course, there was massive outrage and everything else. But Tesco didn't take this away altogether. They just moved it to the sporting goods section. Right. So it's just like,
sporting goods section.
So yes, it's just like, and this is the thing, I think, when it comes to, in terms of trying to figure it out for us as adults, it's just like, if it's a grown person, male or female, who's choosing to do pole fitness and whatnot, go forth, do you, but when it comes to children, and it's just like, we know what, especially for those of us who are, children of the 90s, right? And it's just like, grew up with Chris Rock, right? Chris Rock used to say that his only goal in life was to keep his baby off the pole, right? And it's just like, so we know the connotations that these things have. And so it's just like, so that's why where it's perfectly fine for an adult who can make a decision to do that independently of whether or not we agree with it. But when it comes to a child, it becomes sexualization because of the fact that this is sexuality being inappropriately imposed on a person at an age in which they're not ready to, it's like to make that decision. It's not on them. It's not that their sexuality and they're not growing as sexual beings, but rather it's being imposed on them.
Well, I got to ask you, I mean, there's obviously conflicting messages out there when you got some of the most influential people in the world, when you got probably one of the wealthiest women globally, and probably the number one female performing artist now, Beyonce, calling herself the B word and talking about needing, I don't want to get fined, needing, needing a good one. And the same thing with Nicki Minaj and so forth, you need that python and you need all of these different things and being sexualized about it and going half naked on stages. Now, I got to ask you, because the average world, and just be frank with this, right? There's about 1%, they keep saying about 1% of the world is wealthy. And when you're looking at all of that, then you got 90%, 99% that is looking to try to get wealth. And what is being portrayed commercially now is that if you throw yourself butt naked and talk about taking, and needing it and going to do it and going to make, whatever it may be, and commercial radio stations and so forth, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, but what I'm saying, if they are the the beacons
right
of female empowerment, how is anybody going to say, well, what is normal now? Because that is becoming, normal. You watching it on MTV. We used to see people in big, jackets with massive shoulder pads and so forth, and you're like look like football players and puffy hair and whatnot. Now you're. I don't need to guess.
But hold on. But here's where the progression has actually happened, right? Because remember, at one point on MTV, the people with the big shoulder pads and whatnot were the men and the rappers and everything else. And it's just like, and you did have the scantily clad girls who are on the background, right? So remember, there's an entire culture of the, sort of the video vixen and everything else in terms of going into it. And it's like now what you've taken is just like the progression has been in terms of, you've had these highly sexualized messages in which women were seen as objects, but now women are trying to take control of it, right? So in terms of that's where your Beyoncés and your Cardi B's and whatnot. I think it's, again, in terms of the messaging and everything else, I think it still plays into this notion of sexualization of women, sexualization of girls, and it still ends up being conflicting. But it's like looking at it now. This is something that hasn't just started now. It's been happening for a while. It's just that now, and it's just like women have gotten out of just being the background and being the props, right? And because that's sexualization as well. And it's just like now in terms of being at the forefront. So I think it's overall, it's not just. I don't think that it's necessarily fair to just sort of say, well, Beyonce's and Cardi B's and everything else, because this has been ongoing when it comes to the music industry and everything else. And it's just now in terms of trying to figure out, now that you have that type of platform, how do you actually figure out a way to empower young people, empower women in a way that we seem to go beyond just that one-dimensional thing about being pretty or being sexy, because that is sexualization. So I think that's where it is that we need to sort of expand the dialogue in terms of looking at it. Because, there are a lot of other things which Beyonce ends up doing and whatnot, may not get as much attention as much as it would be in terms of her shows and whatnot. But it's not just about the women who are leading this. Because think about, sort of the messages that are still coming out when it comes to male singers, right? In every genre, and the things that are coming in, some are worse than others, right? So I think it's just like, but it's again about sort of this notion that as parents, as the people who are there, who have the ability to have those one-on-one kind of conversations, who have the ability to discuss these things with young people, to actually point it out to them. Because when I'm doing the sexualization talk, I ask, kids in terms of the Ariana Grande song. I've been there all night, I've been there all day, and it's just like, how many of you sing along to this? And they all put up their hands. How many of your parents sing along to this? And like 80% of them put out their hands. It's like, how many of you think that your parents know what this song is about? And they're just like, and they're like, no. And it's like, are you willing to have a conversation with them about it? And they're like, no. And it's just like, and we just need to be more mindful, because these messages are out there. There is really, you can't just put our kids up in a bubble and kind of try to protect them from the world, but it's about having those sort of meaningful conversations about this, and and it's just like in having these discussions. So and we can't keep constantly just sort of pointing out to these celebrities and whatnot, because it's just like these are not the people who are raising our children. We are, right? So it's just like, I think we can use them in terms of being an example, and in terms of asking, well, why do you think that someone as talented as Beyonce would need to do this, or someone that's or
that's what I keep asking,
right? And it's just
why? Especially at her height of stardom right now, why?
And it's just it's a legitimate question in terms of trying to figure out what it is, because there's also a lot of it that I think she has also tried to do when it comes to putting that within the context of sort of her marriage as well and whatnot. So, but it's about having those conversations. It's about pointing those things out so that it doesn't just go unnoticed and become a part of, like something that you don't even blink at anymore, and then it's just like, oh, let's talk about this.
Well, you see, that's the thing. We got to go take a break, but here's where we're at. And I got to ask you, sexualization has been from the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're looking at music, for example, Elvis Presley was oh my gosh, they even banned him from certain towns and even from TV appearances because he was wiggling his hips.
Yes.
All right. So he broke the whole entire thing. But when we're looking at it, women had not only been the only ones that had been sexualized. For example, in the 80s, we had a great group of boy bands. What was it? Boys to Men.
Mm-hmm.
We had New Kids on the Block. We had Mark and the Funky Bunch. All of them. And you know why there were 5, right? They always had 5 guys. And the reason why there were 5, because it was appealing to 5 different types of individuals and personalities. The bad one, the good one, the soft one, the sexy one, the bad one. All of these things. So it has been around from a long period of time. And the sad part about it is that we have progressed from wiggling hips, that was shocking and jaw-dropping, to now wiggling tits on the show that is basically not even close. That is something that I wonder where we're going to be in 10 years.
But look at where we are in Pirates Week, or street dances and everything else on there about the things that go on in terms of the.
That's the
and
point.
That has been from the time that you and I were younger, and we had the teen dances and everything else, and the grinding and whatnot. Because there's also, those the from a cultural perspective and whatnot, we've done a lot worse, even in the 80s and the 90s, and the wiggling hips, and it's like all those things. Like, think about the things that we saw.
I'll tell you the truth. If we saw a G-string or a thong, we were like, oh, did you see that when everybody was talking about that one girl? Now it's like, look at that big old one over there. Look at that little small skinny one. It's like you said, there's nothing to even think about now. So it almost become like just so desensitized to it.
Right, exactly.
And I wonder, seriously, here's the question when we come back. Where do you think we're going to be in 10 years based on where we are today? I mean, that is something that I don't know. It just bothers me.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
From happy beginnings and life choices that we make along the way,
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
health insurance with far-reaching benefits,
Family protection and long-term financial plans.
business insurance and generous employee benefits.
For happy beginnings to happy ever after, visit BritK.ky.
Brit-K, where people come first.
Cayman owned and operated since 1967. Paramount Carpets is a full-service operation beginning with material selection to the installation of finished products, as well as providing maintenance, service, and takes great pride in the quality of their work, making every effort to exceed customer expectations. Contact us today at 345-949-5000 or visit us at 317 Industrial Park, North Sound Road. Paramount Carpets. We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor.
This week on Nashville Insider, find out which of your favorite artists are nominated for the 52nd Annual CMA Awards. Then, Dan and Shay toast to their latest #1 hit, Tequila, and give a big thanks to fans. We chat with the stars of Beautifully Broken. They're on the red carpet for the film's big premiere. And does this face look familiar? We'll talk to funny man Cletus T. Judd as he makes his country music comeback.
I'm John Barry, and this is Songs and Stories. I believe in every song there's a story waiting to be told, and in every story there's a song waiting to be sung. Each week I'll have a friend stop by who will share great songs and personal stories in a unique setting that have been part of their life and career. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Test results come back on the illegal well waste dumping. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories for the Cayman 27 newsroom. 5 months after the National Roads Authority was caught illegally dumping well waste into the wetlands along Linford-Pearson Highway, test results confirmed the presence of a known carcinogen in samples sent abroad for testing. This highly technical 18-page report from the Water Authority Cayman on the characterization of waste from the stormwater well cleaning answers many of the unanswered questions questions about what's in the well wastewater itself and how long the NRA has been illegally dumping it into our environment. For more on this report, visit Cayman27.ky. The most recent Department of Environment update on Cayman's iguana coal shows a 2-week tally of 92,943 iguanas, averaging out to a little bit over 77.45 per day. And finally today, Republic Bank Trinidad has extended its share purchase offer deadline to Cayman National Corporation shareholders to November 23rd. Now, this is the second extension from the Barbados-based conglomerate. The new extension was published on the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange. The bank is seeking to acquire up to 74.99% of the ordinary shares at Cayman National. Its current offer is $625 per share. The partial offer from the bank was initially expected to expire on Monday evening. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just win. The conversation was just getting hot and heavy. She's going to leave me.
I know.
And she's got to leave me. But Kalina, I sincerely want to thank you for coming in and talking about these issues as well. I know you have to go. You have a session that you need to attend. But I want to ask you if you can let people know, parents know, because it's almost it's like a daunting task nowadays to make sure that your child is, I wouldn't say isolated, but actually well versed in what to expect and whom they are. What would you recommend to parents right now that maybe needing that help? Because and I think you said it best during the break, you say, you know what? Really, children don't come with manuals. You can buy all the books you want, but it's really a trial and error kind of a scenario most of the time.
It is. Anyway, we're parenting differently now because we know better, and we're also parenting differently because the world has changed, right? Our parents didn't have to contend with the fact that, we had little devices on our back pockets that could give us the world and then some. And it's just like, that have also sort of changed the face of everything that we do. And we haven't even talked about porn yet, So and talk about leaving it sort of on a cliffhanger. But I think it's important for people to realize that there are resources on island where you can have these conversations. We at the Red Cross do a presentation on gender and sexuality and the sexualization of children as well, that actually goes through the entire sort of, remit of just kind of giving people some visuals as well as some understanding of just what this all entails. And where it is you as a parent can come in and, have an impact, a positive impact, parent, guardian, in your child's life. The Family Resource Center also does a lot of classes when it comes to parenting, as well as talk early, talk often, because it's like this notion of talking to kids about sex and sexuality is not a one discussion, right? It's building blocks. You start by empowering them with the correct body language for body parts from the time that they can speak all the way through to, the time in which they're getting ready and thinking about, what it would mean to get into that type of relationship with somebody else. So we have those, in terms of resources, Family Resource Center, the Red Cross, and there are other people over at the Employee Assistance Program as well, in case you have any specific needs that you might need to discuss with a counselor and whatnot, people who can guide you in the right direction. But I think it's about remembering that, as the people who are here, and it's like we're not advertisers. We don't have marketing budgets. We don't have billions, trillions of dollars to kind of put in and whatnot. But, you can have those discussions. You can limit access to certain things. You can keep it age appropriate when it comes to just checking to see whether or not it's okay for kids to be watching a particular movie or to be, seeing a particular cartoon, right? Because I think it's just common sense media is one that I use even when in terms of looking for things for my son to watch. And they have reviews by both kids and adults on there that gives you an idea. And I think it's about being more proactive. Have those discussions. If something comes on radio that you're like, oh gosh, what is that and whatnot, if the child is too young in terms of understanding it, figure out a way, turn it off or do something else. But if the child is old enough and whatnot, start that discussion, you know, and it's just like, and when you're in the car driving, it's like when you're walking. So, you know, it kind of, whatever you're doing kind of, you know, gives you a way out of having eye contact. So it might be an easier way to have some of those conversations because you are engaged in something else. But have those discussions, you know, and kind of wrap your thoughts around it when it comes to things, because it's not just about prohibiting. It's not about saying, well, you're not going to listen to this, because, you know, the minute you prohibit something, it looks so much better than what it actually is. You know, and it's just like, so it's about having those discussions. It's about trying to figure out where your kids are at. You know, and sometimes, you know, kids absorb quite a lot, but, you know, depending on the messages that they're getting at home and whatnot, they can really surprise you in terms of saying, oh, well, yeah, no, I listened to that, but I know this, and this is what I believe in, or just to have those discussions. And I think it's just like parents just need to remember the power that they actually have over their children's lives. So that's what I would leave them with. And if you need additional help, the Red Cross is on 949-6785. The Family Resource Center is 949-0006. And I think EAP is 949-9559, but I can't be quoted on that one.
Got a Rolodex.
I know, right? In my head. Yeah.
Go to girl.
Thanks so much, Woody, for having me here. I'm sorry I have to leave early today.
I'm looking forward to the second Wednesday of next month as well. And we're going to be continuing this whole entire series. But I just want to sincerely thank you for coming and talking these things and breaking down barriers. Thank you, Carlina.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. And we're going to be joined next with local artist Gordon Solomon. Yes, he has a new exhibit on. We're going to be talking about his inspiration and so forth. He's not only a visual artist, but he's also a musical artist as well. Should be an interesting conversation. And remember, the number in the studios is 233-1019. That is 233-1019. Or you can WhatsApp me, which is 324-1019. That is 324-1019, or email me at caymancrosstalk@hurleysmedia.ky, or simply post underneath our live streaming video that is there. And it'll be remiss of me not to just close out this particular segment. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this mustache, I want to join, I've joined the Movember movement, and that is to bring awareness to all gentlemen about prostate cancer. And I want to make sure that we don't lose anyone to prostate cancer. Tomorrow evening, courtesy of the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, the Lion Club, in addition to CTMH Doctors Hospital, there will be a seminar in the Lions Center at 7 p.m. It's all about men, talking about prostate, talking about all the sexual different things. And if I have any questions, just forget about who's there. Let's just have a candid conversation. But the best part about it is we're going to have free screenings there to check your PSA levels. And we want to make sure that if we can catch it in time, we can save your life. It is one of the most cancers that if found early and tackled early, you can have a wonderful, healthy life. And I don't want you to lament like how I do and miss my friend very frequently because I lost him to prostate cancer. So I'm asking all of you to join us tomorrow evening down at the Lions Center at 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. for a wonderful seminar. Be right back with local artist Gordon Solomon.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Have you had your Tortuga moment today? Come by Tortuga Fine Wine and Spirits for all your liquor needs. And taste the world-famous Tortuga rum and rum cake. Always delicious and baked fresh daily in the captivating Cayman Islands. With ongoing renovations at the airport, we invite you to shop our stores and buy before you fly. Relive the Cayman Islands in every bite.
Ever wondered what smart health insurance feels like?
Premier Health's 24/7 worldwide health insurance does most of the thinking for you.
1,500 CGI health claims are settled daily.
55% of claims settled automatically.
You can access your health plan almost anywhere, anytime.
And have smart wellness with online data tracking.
And more provider choices for you and the people who matter most.
Premier Health is smart health insurance, and it feels good.
Brit K, where people come first.
We believe that every life matters and that we are all connected. One community, one people. We believe in compassion to give dignity to those that society has let down. We strive to conquer fear And we believe that the power to heal is a gift. This is who we are. This is what we believe. Holy Cross.
And the flavor with a beat. Black thing now move up him dancing feet. We dance them flavor with a beat. Whole heap of sauce, yeah, we acting on the street. Young, middle age, or old, move your feet. When bass, if you dance, everybody have to do it.
Grace, feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace, delicious, so nutritious. Yes, quality when you taste it. Want affordable, look for the real.
Flavor we are fear because the spice is clearing. Flavor with a beat, no other brand of the near way.
One taste and you know Grace is real.
Have a gorgeous day in the Cayman Islands. You're going to have a high of 85. They say the heat index will be hovering around about 95 degrees. You got a 30% chance of experiencing some showers. Here is what Shamel Clark put on my forecast this morning. It's going to be partly sunny and pleasant. Yes, Shamel, thank you very much. He's one of our weather dudes over at the National Weather Service. Winds are going to be coming at you from the east, northeast at 7 miles per hour with an occasional gust at about 10. That's going to translate to 1 to 3 foot sea heights. That wind direction is going to change slightly to the north-northeast tonight, dipping down to about 6 miles per hour. That's going to hit your surface temperatures about 80 degrees, but they say the real feel and the heat index may indicate around about 87, close to 88 degrees tonight. You got a 30% chance of showers as well. Tonight is going to be cloudy, but it's going to be a gorgeous night nevertheless because you're in the Cayman Islands. Sunrise this morning was at 6:33. Sunset will be at 5:47. You got 11 hours and 14 minutes of beautiful tropical sun to really enjoy. You have a similar forecast pattern for tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, as there is a cold front coming down over the Yucatan Peninsula, over our area. You may experience a little bit more cloud cover and rain that's accompanying it. In the evenings, you may also have some thunder that may accompany those as well. But nevertheless, you're going to have a beautiful tropical day. So I want to say to Diane and to Charles, welcome to the beautiful Cayman Islands. And thank you for visiting all the way down from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thank you. And thank you very much for tuning in to Cayman Crosstalk whilst on vacation. I hope you're enjoying it.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019. Or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all very much for tuning in. Letting us be part of your morning and part of your day. Happy Wednesday to all of you. I just want to sincerely thank you for joining us. I'm now joined by local artist, Mr. Gordon Solomon, and he has an exhibit going on right now at the National Gallery of the Cayman Islands, and I think it's entitled Life on the Colony. Good morning, Mr. Solomon.
Good morning, Woody.
Honestly, it's a pleasure to have you in the studios, brother.
Good morning, Cayman Islands.
You know, I just want to say I love that pin on your breast.
Yeah,
that is absolutely
made in Cayman
beautiful.
Brac.
Made in Cayman Brac. You made it? Boy, I was like, man, you are one serious artist.
I can stay away from that industry, I guess.
You have multiple. I was like multiple mediums that you're involved in. I mean, I know you're a visual artist. In addition to that, you're a musical artist as well. But geez, I was like, you into Caymanite as well? And that's actually pretty cool.
That's a Cayman Brac artist. I think his name is Kelvin. But you know, it goes to the series as well because the series is made in Cayman Brac.
Oh.
All of this artwork that I'm presenting in Life in the Colony was made in Cayman Brac.
So the inspiration was in. I mean, it all. Would you say it was brought out of you in Cayman Brac?
You know, living in Grand, we're 3 islands. And I think the experience that I have from here and taking it there and it all still being one and the same, the only thing really new about it is my thought process and the place I made the art.
Oh.
So I've never really done anything in Cayman Brac like that before. But likewise, the inspiration came from Grand Cayman, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. For example, you've seen the more cars than people. I don't know if you have the a camera, but we can just jump right in.
You got a camera right here. Yeah. You can just put it right up here.
Yeah, we say cameraman.
There you go.
And so these are initial sketches that I started off with. And
I like it.
Yeah,
you got the pedestrian running.
Yeah, but sorry,
I'm sorry. It's just funny.
they're pedestrians, but the idea behind those pedestrians are the numbers and people that are actually
the chalk
casualties and their chalk line of people. That,
I can see that now.
Right?
I can see the halo and the chalk line around it. I can see it now.
Right, and so that's what has been a product of our development, right? And we stand up to 170,000 cars right now that have been through the Cayman Islands, and our population 63,000 people. And we also have information of our first car that was on Grand Cayman, which was in 1905. And that was in the district of West Bay. And so you fast forward now, some 100 years later, and you see where we are going in terms of our environment and our development.
Well, I see you have 7 casualties on the roads and so forth. I'm kind of curious, Gordon, what long of a period would this be depicting? Would this be depicting a certain year? Would it be depicting a decade, a half a decade? What period would that be depicting with those 7 casualties?
Interesting. It can be interpreted as you are perceiving it, but for me, it wasn't a particular time frame. It was really just individuals who just happened to have been part of these bicycle hittings. People have been hit on bicycles recently. People have been literally ran over by cars.
Yeah.
And, it comes with the development. And so this is what this exhibit is about. We're talking about where we came from, where we at, and some of the consequences as to where we are now.
Well, I would like to, when we come back, Gordon, I think that is a poignant point. In your mind, through an artist's mind, because to tell you the truth, one thing I've learned, and that's why I appreciate people like you, is because you think differently than I do. And I that's why I embrace the wonderful fingerprints, I call it, of humanity.
Absolutely.
That each one of us bring to the table a different talent. God has blessed us with different talents, and there's no way, and I can genuinely say this, that I could ever do and think the way you think. But I embrace what you do because I can live through what you portray, whether or not it's in spoken word like you have done, and music, or even visual art like this. That's why I love the arts, and that's why I like promoting artists, because to be honest with you, Gordon, I don't think that we in the Cayman Islands, this is just my opinion, that we embrace the art culture, the culture of art that really uplifts whom we are through culture, artwork, whether or not it's visual, whether it's music talent, all of food, all of these various different things that we take for granted, but we don't elevate them to the status I believe that it should be. Because there was one term, and I remember my former co-host, Barry Kwape, I remember her quoting it, and it lasted in me. Barry said, during World War II, they were talking about funding, the English, the British, were talking about funding the war and so forth, and removing, for example, money towards culture and the arts. And Winston Churchill said, well, why are we fighting? And I thought that was so poignant that we really don't think about those things. And I'm like, in the height of the world domination by an evil, he simply said, why are we fighting if not to protect our culture? When we come back, I wouldn't mind just delving in a little bit more of your thoughts. And you know what the Cameron Brackers tell me every time I go there? Cameron Brack, I love Cameron Brack, I truly, truly do. But every Bracker tells me to embrace me, to kiss me, and they go, welcome. But remember, not every, we all Caymanians, but not every Caymanian can be a Bracker. I wanted to tell you that.
The opinions expressed by Cayman Crosstalk, its hosts, callers, or guests are not those of Hurley's Media or its sponsors.
Here are your latest news headlines from the Cayman 27 News Team on Rooster 101's Cayman Crosstalk. Now, here's the news. Test results come back on the illegal well waste dumping. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories for the Cayman 27 Newsroom. 5 months after the National Roads Authorities was caught illegally dumping well waste into the wetlands along Linford-Pearson Highway, test results confirmed the presence of a known carcinogen and samples sent abroad for testing. This highly technical 18-page report from the Water Authority Cayman on the characterization of waste from the stormwater well cleaning answers many of the unanswered questions about what's in the well wastewater itself and how long the NRA has been illegally dumping it into our environment. For more on this report, visit Cayman27.ky. The most recent Department of Environment update on Cayman's iguana coal shows a 2-week tally of 92,943 iguanas, averaging out to a little bit over 77.45 per day. And finally today, Republic Bank Trinidad has extended its share purchase offer deadline to Cayman National Corporation shareholders to November 23rd. Now, this is the second extension from the Barbados-based conglomerate. The new extension was published on the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange. The bank is seeking to acquire up to 74.99% of the ordinary shares at Cayman National. Its current offer is $625 per share. The partial offer from the bank was initially expected to expire on Monday evening. For more news on these stories and others, click on Cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you're just tuning in right now, I had a wonderful conversation with Gordon offline, and I want to try to pull that back on stream. If you're just tuning in right now, I want to sincerely thank you for doing so. But I have in the studios with me local artist, Mr. Gordon Solomon, who is now working and I guess practicing and honing his craft out of Cameron Brack. To be honest with you, one of my paradises. And in fact, I tell you the truth, you know who loves it as well? Who is his newfound paradise? Mr. Derek Bogle. That man, let me tell you something. That boy child loves Cameron Brack. But I digress a little bit. Gordon, we were getting to where you were saying that, Cayman has gone through such a progression.
Yeah.
And you put some stats down here, 65,000 residents. And we got what has been registered in the Cayman Islands?
63,145 to be exact.
Wow. And you said over the years, from the very first automobile to right now, we've had over 170,000 automobiles that have been registered in the Cayman Islands.
And our government makes, last year we made about $11 million from just registering your car and getting your car license. But I was saying to you during the break that we all kind of think about the same things as humans, as people that live in this particular society. But how do we speak about what we think about? Usually we do that in our private settings. We do that in places where we're comfortable. And so this is no different for me. I'm in the same environment, but I'm speaking about what we're all feeling in a place where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable in art. Mm-hmm. And so I can speak about it in an artist platform. But things won't change unless we actually share all of our ideas about a particular thing. So I am sharing my idea today. This particular one we call Get Milk.
Get Milk. Yeah, I saw that when you sent that over to me. And I just want to let you know that our wonderful Director General is trying to work feverishly to try to get that up. And one thing you do, you start off as a rendering first, and then you move that into a paint form, which is pretty cool. And I like it because if you all can't see it right now, it is a Pac-Man kind of a scenario. And right at the very top, you got this cow, and the men, I guess you would say, are feeding off the teats of the cow. And I think it's pretty neat.
It's a truth. It's my way of saying we are creating this brain drain per se. And all those ghosts that you see are actually distracting a lot of our Caymanian people. But if you look at the cow, you're going to see a lot of different flags.
Yeah, see that. And also I see money sign and cent signs and so forth in there as well.
Absolutely. That's all inside of this particular one called Get Milk. And so this series started with me listening to the radio, and later was on one day saying, "Now I need to come back and milk the cow. Making everybody come here and milk the cow." And it was funny, right? But I'm sure a lot of people heard her saying that, and the message is there. But what's happening with Life in the Colony in this particular series is it's in an arcade. It's like a theme park, and you come and you go on these different rides. You play these different games. And so this is a part of that particular one. And so Get Milk is kind of like, it's a game.
And everybody's coming feeding off
it. It's a game.
And so kind of curious, is Cayman the cow? Is it?
Absolutely.
And everybody's feeding off the tits of that cow.
Oh man, it looks bad.
It does.
Yeah, and there's numbers to go with that as well. And what I'm saying to you about the brain drain, we have a lot of qualified Caymanians that are coming back to the environment of opportunity and are distracted by these ghosts, whether those ghosts are people trying to avoid them from getting into their institutions, or whether those ghosts are being underqualified, overqualified. And so these ghosts, they manifest themselves in different ways. But they're all hindrances. They're all the same thing.
They're all boogeymen.
Yes.
And I that's why I tell you the truth. Like I said, in my mind, I would never rationalize and think the way that you think. And that's why
Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it.
No, but you see, Gordon, this is why I believe that, and this is one reason why I try to uplift and bring on the show here. As long as I'm here, I don't know whether or not every Friday I may be gone. That's just the reality of life in general. Life in the colony, so to speak.
Absolutely.
But I always believe in uplifting the cultural element, because I submit to you, sir, and to everyone, and I say this, and I will say this for as long as I knew myself, primarily because of my mother. My mother was a very strong lady. She would always say, listen, you got to learn to listen. Listen is a skill. There's a difference between listening and hearing. When you hear something, you hear what you may want to garner from that conversation between Woody and Gordon. But if you actually listen, you may find some truth in that element. And to be mature about that, once you listen, you can reason. Once you reason, we can find a solution. And those are the things that I certainly believe that when we all get together, no matter what medium or what form that you are, if we listen, there's a solution at the end of it.
Absolutely. So what's the problems? And I guess that's what I'm bringing out.
Yeah, and life in the colony
series. Because I'm not really bringing the problems, but I'm also speaking about solutions in a sense. And I'm bringing some facts as well from my research. I mean, this whole essay is pretty lengthy, and I have my references as well that I'm quoting from as well. I think the biggest thing in here was probably the ESO, the statistics that we got from the ESO. That was a large document. That was a pretty large document I should go through. What else would you like to?
Well, one thing that I see that you have here, if you don't mind me asking, the body of work, and one thing with Gordon, he's just not an artist who's just going to, put a piece of artwork on the wall and just go what it is. He actually has a CV, a whole entire catalog, ladies and gentlemen, of his work.
Yes.
And the catalog of works
absolutely
that is here in number 18, for example, he has lionfish and green iguanas. But the one I wouldn't mind talking about, Gordon, if you don't mind, number 17, addicted to cheap labor.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Show me.
And money transfer. Money Exchange, and here's what he has as a write-up to that particular one. He says, Money Exchange is one of the biggest attractions to the Cayman Islands. In 2017, Cayman ranked 7th in the world, top 20 currencies, making a statement of opportunity to job seekers around the globe. Despite this recognition, new implementation of low wages have created pockets of poverty in communities around Grand Cayman. Most of these pocket communities benefit from great money exchange rates, and low wage for labor has created the reliance on, quote unquote, cheap labor.
Absolutely. And there's no
I like that one.
Denial. There's no doubt. This is not something that Gordon is thinking about, you know.
I like that one.
On his own. But if you look at that person carefully, you can see there's a dollar bill that's going into the nostril.
Yeah, and sucking up something. We know what that is. And when going in the arm as well.
Right. And then we got, as you look at the, now I did this for a reason. I want people to come to the exhibit to see these. Because these are just the sketches and initial ideas. But people have to see these in person. However,
I want people to see your face. Let me hold it. They don't need to see my ugly old face. Director General, do a split screen, please.
And so we have to understand that this has become a success. Having and bringing a lot of people to the island that we do need their services. They benefit from the Cayman Islands tremendously. One of our dollars in any country becomes many dollars. But are we benefiting from it, or are we just a place where it all happens? And so that's what this is about. Now, if you look at the cookie maker, there's a cookie maker that's going on there, and it's the permits that are being stamped.
The conveyor belt.
Right, it's like a conveyor belt, and it's in that building is actually the immigration building. And so this whole idea of stamping permits and the whole wheel of permits, that probably sound like another painting, is something that you have to pay attention to. You have to pay attention to, because if we're making revenue from it, fine. That helps somebody somewhere. But is it good for us as a people? Has it been good? Most successful Caymanian families, and this is where we get to the crux of this now, have and do employ a lot of this cheap labor. And this is how they make profit. It's kind of like you kind of need it, a necessary evil or something. But at the same time, you can't overlook it. It's there, and I'm saying we're addicted to cheap labor. I am saying it.
And I agree with you. We got to take a little break right now, Gordon, but I agree with you. And here's another one I would like you to pull up. Ladies and gentlemen, this should be kind of curious with this one. Is beach access. And I like this one. Quote unquote, Queen's Bottom. Well, like when we come back, he's going to pull that one up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about that particular drawing as well. He has a whole entire catalog, ladies and gentlemen. We want you to join him. His exhibit is going on now at the National Gallery. I would love for all of you to come by, look at them, and read the little excerpts that he has on the bottom, and hopefully the catalog that he has here that describes what he's talking about could actually be completely added to the whole entire element, and maybe buy a couple of paintings as well and put in your office spaces. That'll be fantastic.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Some say the time of miracles is past, but we see miracles all around us every day. Some could not walk. Some could not breathe. Some had lost all hope. But something amazing happened. Something that can't be analyzed or quantified. Something that is more than good medicine. Holy Cross.
The countdown is on for Cayman 27's Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. Enjoy this annual boat parade as the water comes to life at Camana Bay Harbor with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. Don't miss Cayman's largest family gathering as we kick off the 2018 holiday season. Saturday, December 1st, starting at 6 p.m. at Camana Bay. Brought to you by Camana Bay.
This have a flavor with a beat. Have a dance, make you move up your feet. Feel the rhythm in the music. Turn old into new, into hits and classics. Every meal make you feel like it's a new remix. It's the most delicious in the West Indies. You know what feel ask this grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. Delicious and nutritious. Yes. Quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label. Grace. Feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace. Delicious and nutritious. Yes. Quality when you taste it. Want affordable? Look for the label. Once you feel it, once you see it, once you taste it, it's real. Trust the flavor, the Caribbean grace, it's real. Caribbean grace, it's real.
By calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019. Or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I got some social media that was coming through, and if you're just joining me right now, I have in the studios local artist, Mr. Gordon Solomon, who's now working out at Cameron Brack and has an exhibit on at the National Gallery. We're inviting all of you there. Is entitled, to be honest with you, I like it, Life on the Colony. And right before we left, Gordon, someone wrote, you were talking about the last one, which was addicted to cheap labor. We had a social media come and says, tell Gordon he hit the nail on the head. I will be at his show. So just thought I'll share that with you. Now, Gordon, you have another one. You have a whole, this is a pretty large collection. You've been working hard, man. I guess Cameron Brack makes that happen to you. You have one, number 14, called Beach Access, quote unquote, Queen's Bottom.
And like I said, the Lands and Survey actually gave me the right definition for the Queen's Bottom, which refers to the seabed. Now, there has been, I guess, many different versions of where beachgoers should be and shouldn't be on the beach. We should sure join as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I got those. You got those cones in front of the beach access. You got that garden rake. Sometimes people might want to use to keep people.
Beat them off.
And the truth is, people are entitled to the beach, but people are not entitled to litter the beach.
Amen.
And so a lot of these people that own and live next to the beaches shouldn't have to wake up to trash. You know, that's we want to deal with social justice at the same time. People are free to go to the beach, yeah. But some of the conditions in which the beach and these accesses have been left in is a cause for, it justifies what some of the people are saying about staying away from the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you clean up your act, clean up what you take, then it will make a difference.
I agree. And, you know, I think that is where some of the breakdown has occurred too, Gordon, is that would it be unreasonable for me to say that we no longer take pride in where we are any longer, that it is somebody else's problem? And this bothers me because I said it just the other day. For example, and I don't think I'm digressing a bit, but I went to Halloween was just a few days ago, and a wonderful community put a great, it was like a carnival that happened. Popcorn, cotton candy, free pizza, cupcakes, drinks,
Friends.
everything, and friends. But you know the one thing that bothered me? Every 2 feet was a 55-gallon drum and a garbage can. But at the end of the night, we spent 45 minutes cleaning up trash. And I'm thinking, this was done for free for all of you. And even if you didn't realize your child dropped something, you could have actually picked it up. You know, and those things really bother me. And then you wonder, why do people get pissed off and don't want you to come near their beach?
Right, don't come out to my things.
Exactly.
Because they're littering with things. I don't know, maybe we're... but yeah, you provide the outlet for people to, you know, throw away and recycle, and just somehow there's all of the stuff around the recycle bin. I don't know.
Here's one I want you to talk about too, which is, to me, peculiar. This might get some people up a little bit.
Okay.
Number 12, contradictions.
Absolutely.
Christian pirates, quote unquote.
Yeah. But you got to understand that we're talking about life in the colony, and when we were founded upon the seas, it was founded upon the seas in a brutal way. A lot of people died, and a lot of people suffered for the whole conquest to the New World. And with the New World came Christianity. It came our faith in our Lord and Savior. And it cost for us to come to the colony. For me, I will always say I was brought here. It wasn't like my ancestors when they were saying we want to go to the Caribbean. And so over some 400 years, we came here, and so that's why I have the issue with when it comes to the piracy now, because we embrace our Lord and Savior. And I can't see myself embracing just the whole conquest between the different Europeans, Dutch, French, British, and Americas at some point. This whole superior or fighting, what are we fighting for? And so it brings me to our present day. What we're putting our money into, where we're putting our mouth. What do people see when they perceive a Caymanian? Are they seeing that Christian character, or is it, oh, you're from Cayman? Arr! And so, whether we realize it or not, we're building this mystery, and we got to be careful what we do with our history. I'm not trying to rhyme here, but I think it's a contradiction. We need to spend more time. You have to understand that when people have forgot about us, we had become an artist community. We were building ships. We were making thatch rope and thatch hats. We were sufficient enough to take care of ourselves, but not good enough for people to actually want to be like us. And so Cayman came out of that whole darkness during the 1970s. Once we started to get into the banking industry and people realized that we could do something, is when people actually started to gravitate towards us. But as they gravitated towards us, that history and that Christian heritage, we somehow had to entangle the piracy with Christianity to make ourselves marketable. And it's just something about that says something to me in the wrong way. So here we go. My thoughts and my drawings. And so these were executed in a year ago. I did this series of 18 took me a year to do.
You got beautiful handwriting, by the way.
Oh, okay. I can't make that up.
I wish I can write like that. I look like chicken scratches and hot ash. That's me.
Yeah.
My mother says I should have been a doctor like Dr. Sidney.
But in this particular piece, you're going to see I deliberately included, there's a lot of costumes and designs in the back here where we have Pirates Week and we have different aspects of Pirates Week. But in the pews, you're going to see there is actually a monk and a religious person. And he's actually encouraging what looks like a woman is actually the Caribbean. And she's holding a basket of cotton. And the basket of cotton is being poured out into the church. And he's encouraging her that this is the way to go. This is all happening inside of a church, but the church is actually a roller coaster. It's a coaster ride in one of the rides. What you see in the back here, if you look at the pirate carefully, he has a pirate on his shoulder, but there's also a man in the back. There are actually slaves in the back, or African descendants in the back, and they have a chain around his neck, and they're actually pulling on the chain while he's seated in the chair. And then you see the little child that's sitting right next to him, totally in oblivion, back turned to all of this situation and staring toward what I assumed is the light.
The future, you think?
I want the child to, the whole idea is it gives a child a chance to create its own future. Because when it looks in the past, it's going to see all of this Christian piracy. And the child is here by I didn't ask to be here.
And no fault of his own. No?
So that's me. I didn't ask to be here. Yeah, exercising.
Yeah, man. Well, we got to go and take a little break right now. We got callers on the line too, Gordon. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this caller before I hit this break. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Woody.
Good morning, Miss Georgette.
This is Georgia Lebanks, and good morning to Gordon Solomon. Let me tell you, you are saying words that I
said.
I just love to hear. I can hear that you love Cayman, and that you remember how it used to be. Is your mother or aren't your parents still alive?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
They're still alive. Well, they must be proud of you, I hope. And your wife, Miss Salsa, is from the Brock?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh. And you have some little children, too?
Yes, ma'am. A little boy and a little girl, ma'am. A little boy and a little girl. A little boy and a little girl. 12 and 10.
A boy, 12, and a little girl, 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Gordon, my dear, I would say that many years and 91 now, by the grace of God, he let me live to see my 91st birthday in September. And there was a time when I knew I would say practically all of your family. And may God bless all of them. And may God bless you and your wife, Miss Alta, and your two little children. And you keep up the good work with all your paintings and telling about how it used to be and encouraging people not to lose our wonderful Christian heritage. It's fast slipping away, Gordon, my darling. There was a time when I was a little girl, my little girl friends and I, on a Sunday, you couldn't even go outside and play. And if you dared to go out there, you'd get a beating or get your ears wrung. But nowadays, anything goes. So I think that's enough of me running up my mouth. And God bless you too, Woody, and all your family.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miss Georgette, and looking forward to coming and visit with you very shortly as well. All right, we got to take a little break right now. We're going to come right back with artist Gordon Solomon. And we're highlighting him today because he has a wonderful exhibition going on. And we want you all to actually go by the National Gallery, pardon me. And he has an exhibit called Life on the colony. And I tell you the truth, he's been working overtime. He's got at least, probably what, 18 pieces in there. And I like the story behind them all. In fact, there's one that I want to tease you a little bit about as well. It's called the number 9, Birther's Right. Aye. When we come right back after this little short break.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
Burger King.
Is back. Sign up for the Sports Pack today and fuel your passion for football. Sports is life, only on Flow.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Camana Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboo. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
Watch as some of the world's most talented people put their skills to the test as they attempt to make their mark in the record books. You'll witness some of the craziest, scariest, most bizarre stunts people will do, all in the name of stardom. It's the ultimate Guinness World Records, and it's right here on Cayman 27. Capture all the action.
I'm Caroline Hobby, host of Nashville Insider, where we bring you the latest in country music news and happenings. Join us as we interview your favorite artists and go behind the scenes of country music's hottest events.
Watch Nashville Insider right here on Cayman 27.
Test results come back on the illegal well waste dumping. What's up, everyone? I'm Doug Dodds. Here's today's top stories for the Cayman 27 newsroom. 5 months after the National Roads Authorities was caught illegally dumping well waste into the wetlands along Linford-Pearson Highway, test results confirmed the presence of a known carcinogen in samples sent abroad for testing. This highly technical 18-page report from the Water Authority Cayman on the characterization of waste from the stormwater well cleaning answers many of the unanswered questions about what's in the well wastewater itself and how long the NRA has been illegally dumping it into our environment. For more on this report, visit cayman27.ky. The most recent Department of Environment update on Cayman's iguana coal shows a 2-week tally of 92,943 iguanas, averaging out to a little bit over 77.45 per day. And finally today, Republic Bank Trinidad has extended its share purchase offer deadline to Cayman National Corporation shareholders to November 23rd. Now, this is the second extension from the Barbados-based conglomerate. The new extension was published on the Cayman Islands Stock Exchange. The bank is seeking to acquire up to 74.99% of the ordinary shares at Cayman National. Its current offer is $625 per share. The partial offer from the bank was initially expected to expire on Monday evening. For more news on these stories and others, click on cayman27.ky or watch the news tonight at 6. For Hurley's Media, I'm Doug Dodds. Have a great day.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
All right, offices that we have here, to be honest with you.
Collect all 18.
There you go. You can buy them all. And one of the things, the umbilical fill, I'm kind of curious. Do you mind if I read just the little A little
I can read it
have
for
here.
you.
There you go.
I was actually born in 1977 when it comes to the whole issue where they call us the ghost babies, but we'll get to that. Number 9, the birther's rights, umbilical fill. The fact is that most children born here in the Cayman Islands, navel strings end up together in the landfill. But this does not guarantee equality. There used to be a saying, I come from you and my navel string buried in the backyard. However, this saying is now a challenge to those born during March 1977 and March 1983. Since the Cayman law in 1977 gives children born out of wedlock the rights of their mother's nationality, this has slowly been affecting the lives of many young adults who are being referred to as ghost Caymanians due to this law. So there, my facts I'm getting from ESO as well. There were 2,237 births from 1977 to 1983. That's 2,237 births. Now, let me kind of put a brakes on a bit because the whole navel string buried in the backyard was actually done at a particular time when we could have. But I'm referring to all of our navel strings being buried at the landfill for a particular reason. So here we have umbilical fill. It's a ride. It's a roller coaster ride. Now, you can see what's going on inside of this one here. If you want to take it from here.
Yes, sir, I will.
And somehow, I guess you can refer to these 2,000 children, Caymanians, as being on a roller coaster ride. Because I listened to your show, see the date, if you turn it around and look at the date, I was listening to your show at the top.
Yep. September 10th?
Yeah, so look at the top.
2017.
There was a Joe. His name's at the top. Let me just see there.
And
I was listening to your radio show, and he started to speak about his situation. So this piece is inspired by a young man named Joey Arch, and he was on. I think he was actually in front of some buildings or something last year, and he was kind of talking about his situation.
Jesse Arch.
Jesse Arch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wrote Joey Arch.
Yep, Jesse Arch. Yeah, and we helped bring highlight to that. He was one of those ghost Caymanians that you were talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Still at the end of the day, all navel string buried at the landfill. We're all contributing to this particular thing. Lamb. And if you look closer again, you can see the Mount Trashmore that's going on over there. You see the tractors on top, satellite dishes, partial blocks, garbage bags, TVs, scissors. Oh, we got everything in the landfill, including ourselves. And I don't know the practice of how they discard navel strings per se from a health services point of view, but this is my point of view of where everything is going in terms of who we are and the whole substance of us. So nobody has no navel string in the backyard anymore. Everything going to the landfill. We're all contributors to it.
That's a unique way of looking at it, but you're absolutely correct. Like I said, that's why I appreciate your mind, because who the heck would ever think of anything like that? But you and I are on the same plane. You express it in a different form, but I buy right in 100% what you're saying. It's not abstract in any way whatsoever. And I just hope that people come by, to be honest with you, Gordon, and really support you and buy all 18 pieces. To be honest, I think great businesses would do well with having them up on the wall and all labeled with your little excerpts on all of them.
So the exhibit is up, National Gallery Dart Auditorium. The visiting hours are 8:30 until 5 weekdays. People can go by the National Gallery and ask about life on the colony. And if people want prints of the particular art that they like, they can order prints as well from GordonSolomon.com. Any questions as well can be answered at gordonsolomon.com.
Well, you know, Gordon, we got to take this little last one break, but I want you to pick out one that really resonates and sings with you.
I got to pick out the one that's looking at me.
The one that really moves you. And I can't wait to hear a little bit about that one when we come right back after this little short news break. And he's excited. He's giggling in the corner. You got me curious now, Gordon. I don't even know what his label at. I'm going to look through the whole entire catalog.
More of Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and live on Cayman 27 is next.
It's that time of year again for the annual Cayman 27 Parade of Lights, brought to you by Bogle Insurance Brokers Limited. We're calling all boats to join us Saturday, December 1st at Camana Bay as the water comes to life with this year's theme, Christmas Around the World. It's completely free to enter, and there's a chance to win $1,000 and 2 general admission tickets to Kaboom. Or enter just for fun. Private and commercial boats are welcome. For more information and to register your boat, click on cayman27.ky.
The flavor with a beat. Black thing now move up him dancing feet. We dance them flavor with a beat. Holy sauce, yeah, we acting on the street. Young middle age or old, move your feet. When Grace if we dance, everybody have to do it.
Grace, feel the vibe, can't you feel it? Grace, delicious, so nutritious. Yes, quality when you taste it. Want affordable, look for the label.
Flavor we are here because the spice is flaring. Flavor with a beat, no other brand than the near way.
One taste and you know Grace is real.
Mobil One The Grid is your VIP pass behind the scenes across the world of motorsport.
You're going to see that aggression start from the Daytona 500 all the way up until the end of the year.
I feel for the guys, driving past as close as I can, as fast as I can.
A great win. Porsche win Le Mans.
It's wall-to-wall action. There's no room for error.
These trucks will jump 15, 20 feet in the air.
Fresh fir Christmas trees are on their way to Hurley's. Our containers arrive from the forests of Quebec on November the 24th. These fresh, fragrant balsam firs won't last long. If you plan on having a tree in your home, order yours today. There's a shortage of trees coming to the island this year. Make sure your family has a green Christmas. Order your tree today at hurleys.ky/ordering. Hurley's, get fresh trees with us.
Fresh at Hurley's.
It's exciting because when we come back, Gordon has picked a piece out, especially for him. But I want to sincerely thank my forecaster for this morning, Shamal Clark, Mr. Shamal Clark of the National Weather Service, for sending me the weather synopsis for today. Today, he is saying that we're going to have a high of 85. They see the heat index may indicate around about 95 degrees. You're going to have a 30% chance of experiencing some showers. Therefore, the synopsis for the daylight hours is partially sunny and absolutely pleasant. Winds are going to be coming at you from the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour with an occasional gust at about 10. That's going to translate to 1 to 3 foot sea heights. So it's going to be a gorgeous day on the waters out there. Winds are going to continue that same easterly direction, but clipping down more to the north-northeast. And it's going to be a 6 miles per hour as well. That's going to still translate to 1 to 3 foot sea heights. In addition to that, tonight, the temperature is going to drop down about 80 degrees. But they say the real heat index may indicate that it's about 89. You got a 30% chance of experiencing some showers as well. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy. Your sunrise this morning was at 6:33. Your sunset will be at 5:47. That means you got 11 hours and 14 minutes of beautiful sunshine to really enjoy. Your forecast is similar weather tomorrow, but there is a frontal trough that's coming over from the Yucatan Peninsula. It's going to bring some weather systems with it. So Friday, Saturday, expect some passing showers or two and possible accompanied by some thunder. Join me back with local artist Gordon Solomon, Cayman artist.
Be a part of the conversation on Cayman Crosstalk by calling the Superior Auto Hotline, 233-1019, or message us on the Cayman Crosstalk Facebook page. Now, back to Cayman Crosstalk on Rooster 101 and simulcast live on Cayman 27.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday to all of you, and thank you all very much for tuning in. Let this be part of your morning. I'm enjoying today. I truly, truly am. I have a local Cayman artist, Navel String Bird in the landfill.
We there.
Mr. Gordon Solomon. He has an exhibit going on, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage all of you, bring your children as well. I think there is something that when you expose children to art and culture, there is something, as we were saying before in the previous segment, there's an imprintation that goes on in one's mind. And I tell you the truth, once you expose them to the visual arts, to the theatric arts, all of these things, there is a scientific fact, Gordon, and that's why I fight so hard to have culture like this alive, that both hemispheres of your brain is actually firing instead of one, individually and independently. That's a fact. So if you want your children to be that much more well-rounded, they said if you get into visual arts, if you get into arts, if you get into music and so forth, it is going to enrich their lives beyond what you can even fathom. So take your children to exhibits like this, and also the wonderful play that's on right behind Gordon, which is going to be at the Harkle Theater, Moon on a Rainbow Shawl as well. Yeah. And so we encourage all of you to go by the National Gallery and see his exhibit. In fact, I encourage one of you wonderful businesses out there that listens on a daily basis, and some of them record. Government, this would be good for you to plaster up all. You got a massive building there. I think it's 55,000 square feet. You can find places for these 18 to be planted, not just downstairs. The Premier's office will look great with some of these things on there, like the Navel String or the Queen's Bottom. And those ones would be great.
Yeah.
And which one? I'm kind of curious. Which one are you pulling out that resonates with you?
Since we're talking about children and wanting them to come to the gallery as well, we want to close off with the birther's rights. So hold on. Seamen's benefits. This one is the seamen's benefits.
All right, number 8.
Number 8.
Those who served.
Yes, absolutely. And we have to understand that they did their time. They went, created a life back home. And so in this particular image, we have the mother who's at home to my right-hand side. Right hand, not on the camera, but right hand on here. You can see she's sitting down. She has a palm and she's fanning the little baby. And if you look closer, you'll see mosquitoes.
Yes.
There's a lampshade, kerosene lamp right under there. What she's actually laying on is a series of banana sucker leaves that are actually laid down. Through the window, you can see the man who has gone to sea. So to my left, man has returned, has new wife, new lover, new wife per se, in this particular case. And I am subjectively saying in the corner where you see the cross, either she has passed away or she's still alive in this particular circumstance. Either way, who deserves the benefits from his service? The woman on the left with the new baby inside of the new modern home, or the woman on the right with the kerosene lamp and the mosquitoes?
The plant and trash bed.
And the plant and trash bed. So it's something that Sorry can probably kind of write up a nice little thing about. But however, that's what's happening in this particular. So who deserves? Who doesn't deserve?
Wow. That's profound.
Maybe somebody can call in and tell us.
There you go. 233-1019, 233-1019. We got a caller online right now. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
Good morning, gentlemen. Number 1 from the Brack. Mr. Solomon, I just called to say congratulations to you on your artistic work.
Bracca's in the house, sir.
Okay?
All right.
So you all have a good day.
Good support. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, number 1. And also, I just want to answer a question that came online as well. Ladies and gentlemen, these are just preliminary sketches to get.
I want you to get to the gallery to see the actual
color and painting. He sent me some last night, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the vivid color that is confined in all of these and blown up in greater detail. These are just, for example, when I write, you see, my wife will call me an artist in terms of written form. I could never do what Gordon does. but I have several drafts, and I usually draft it out. And this is his draft,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. And then he transposes it onto a larger canvas and work of art that is absolutely filled with vivid color.
If people want to see, I'm doing 18 days on Instagram where I'm posting prices and themes, as well as some of my initial thoughts on the particular pieces. So people can go to Gordon J. Solomon on Instagram, and through the next, we got another, 9 or so days.
Thereabouts, yeah.
But I'm going to be sending them out every day for the next 18 days.
We got another caller online. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for calling.
This is Jan Lee Clifford.
Good morning, Mrs.
Gordon,
Clifford.
congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just had to call you to tell you thanks for your last statement on the seamen and the white situation.
Oh, really?
What
that's how
was
that
the
happens
last
here, yeah.
question? Repeat it again. I know what it was, but I just want to hear you say it again. Who?
Oh, yeah, we absolutely. But who deserves the benefits? Is it the woman on the right with the mosquitoes and plant and trash bed, or is it the woman on the left in the new home and the new amenities and the new love?
The woman on the right with the mosquitoes and the plant and trash bed garden. I am the widow, John Lee Clifford, of Charles Clifford. He only had one wife, and that's yours truly. But I feel so strongly about the topic you just opened up this morning.
It's
and
happening.
I hope some people really take note and take it serious, because I've been thinking, I'm seeing it when I go to the seafarers' meetings. I'm thankful for what the seafarers, in the seafarers, not the seafarers, but in the name of the seafarers, because it's really government that supports seamen and their widows. I'm very thankful, because most of you will know that I taught at the Cayman Prep School 33 years, as a matter of fact. There was no pension, but I don't complain. I have 5 children that's responsible, and, I don't complain, but I thank you so much for that statement you made this morning, and ending with the question. And congrats, Gordon.
Yes, well, bring as many seamen or people that you may know or associated there with to the show. It ends on December 5th.
Yeah, well, I've been planning to come and see it now for, I don't know, I'm 86 years old now, and my children, they don't want me to drive, or they try to discourage me.
What if I come pick you up?
Yeah, they do.
No, I can come and pick you up.
They have schedules now. So this is why not at the museum, not the museum, where your
National Gallery.
National Gallery, sorry. That's what happened to me memory-wise now, names. Yeah. As often as I can make it, I always come and look at the exhibits, and I certainly will see yours, God's willing.
All right, good for you.
All right, Miss John Lee, thank you very much. And, Mr. Solomon, it was a pleasure, honestly, to have you in the studios. One last time, I want you to appeal to the wonderful listeners out there to come to your exhibit. And I will say to them, those out there that have businesses as well, consider coming by and maybe acquiring all of them. It will be a great piece to actually put along your walls, and you can walk down from 1 straight through to 18.
Well, it's just people will know price range, $900 to $1,500.
Reasonable.
We have 2 already that are up for acquisition, so they'll be up until December the 5th.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, man. And I just want to say to you, Mr. Solomon, thank you very much for sharing this morning.
Yeah.
And really, honestly, enlightening me and to your thought process. And I tell you the truth, like you said, a lot of us think about these things, but many of us have different ways of expressing what we feel. And I just want to sincerely thank you for sharing this morning and coming in and really discussing with me. In fact, before you go, I wouldn't mind you coming back in, not necessarily talking about your exhibit.
Before the exhibit ends.
But I would love for you to just talk about things in general. I like the way you think, to be honest with you.
You know?
And so I invite you to come
Not a lot of people do it, but thanks that you do.
Not a lot of people like the way I think either. But c'est la vie. We're in the same boat. We're in the same cat boat.
Sailing.
The cat boat, and he's actually working on a new exhibition as well. So he's going to rest his mind after this particular one and then come back strong and heavy again. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want you all to say, come by, visit his exhibit, and maybe acquire one or two or several. He also has prints that are available as well for all of you. And if you want to check him out, his Instagram is Gordon J. Solomon.
This is the only morning show that matters. Cayman Crosstalk.
If it matters to you, it matters to us. We're Cayman 27, Cayman Informed.